The championship affair is returned and they're all into it already. I'm not sure when this series began we thought that one of the most impactful players would be number 4, Turner Ottenbright, but he most certainly has been.
Hasn't he done a fantastic job staying on the defensive side of the fastest skater in the Western League in Austin Wagner? There's a turnover from Wagner, but how about him? Even when he gets a step on him, body on body, stick on puck, this guy goes about his business in a militant style. He's on the body, hard to play against him. Lieutenant Turner Ottenbright reporting for duty. Ouch. This guy lets you know it when he's on the ice. He's chipped in with some offense. He's got 8 points in the postseason and a huge goal to get them within 1 in Game 2. He has been excellent everywhere.
Well, we expected Matthew Barzell to have a gigantic input in the series. He has 3 assists. He has 18-game point scoring streak going back to the end of the regular season. And yet, to me, it's his overall game that's maybe impressed me the most when you compare last spring to this spring.
Well, we've seen him in the D zone battling to get into lanes and blocking shots, but it's all about puck possession with Matt Barzell. He's got 36 points in his last 18 games. He's scoring at a clip of about 1.7 points per game in the postseason. Points come off of this guy's stick like they're being spit off of a conveyor belt. He can pick seams right here. So patient. He prowls on the ice, looks for weaknesses, and when the puck's on his stick, who's cooler than Matt Barzell? Maybe Arthur Fonzarelli? Yeah, I don't even know if he is, but unbelievable job in the postseason.
I don't know if we had somebody in between us. Maybe tonight, in some form, we'll see the Malachi Crunch. Down to Andy.
Thanks very much, gentlemen. And Game 3 has been a pretty good indicator of how a series is going to go. The last 7 times, going back to 1996, that it's been tied at 1. The team that wins Game 3 has won 6 of those. The only exception, Edmonton in 2012, when they won it in 7 after losing Game 3 in Portland. Donovan Niles was the hero of Game 1. It was Josh Mahura for the Pats in Game 2, who was going to tell the story in Game 3 tonight here at the ShoWare Center. Enjoy, everyone.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and remove your hats. And join the Thunderbirds as we honor the United States, Canada, and our militaries here and overseas with the presentation of our national anthems. Please sing along as Paul Klein leads us in O Canada and the Star-Spangled Banner.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land, glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Once again, Paul
The two combatants for the Edge-Chenoweth Cup put on quite a show in games 1 and 2 in the Queen City of Regina. And as the set shifts to Kent, Washington at the ShoWare Center, we're not expecting anything different in Game 3. Steve Konowalchuk has his team back in the league title series for a second straight year. This evening's starting goaltenders, no change. Why would there be? The 20-year-old from Winnipeg tends the twine again for the visiting Regina Pats. He is Tyler Brown, and those are his postseason numbers. And at the other end, one of the best stories of the entire spring. 17-year-old Carl Stankowski, really 16 by hockey terms. He didn't turn 17 until the 9th of March. And we, Mr. Sawyer, I think are in for another dandy, and they are ready in this community. John Paddock, Dave Strush's team, win 4-3 in overtime in Game 2 to tie the best-of-7 affair at 1 game apiece. And a bit of a change already. In the first 2 games, we saw a lot of the Sam Steele line versus the Barzell line. Different to open tonight with Seattle having last change.
One of the most effective playoff lines, and Niles and Volkan and Enzer, those guys are getting the task of shutting down that top line off the top.
Delighted to have you with us wherever you're looking on, whether it's Canada or the United States. Austin Wagner finds Sam Steele. Steele delivers to the trailing Zabrowski, and Volkan got his stick in the road. Now it's Leadall. Leadall a chance. Tess Stankowski on the short side. Nobody knows where it is. Finally, it's located by Ethan Bear in the Western Hockey League's Defenseman of the Year. Turns away from the pressuring Wagner. Enser to Niles. Zabrowski taps it away from him, and then Leadall, who just signed a contract yesterday with the New York Rangers, throws a solid jolt.
Well-deserved, great season by Leadall. 35 goals, 85 points. Good for him, and congratulations to him.
And riding a 6-game playoff point streak coming into this evening. He had a pair of assists Saturday in game number 2.
Sitting on 11 goals and 23 points, Pete.
Connor Hobbs clears it in, but it goes out of play.
Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw is brought to you by Levitt Machinery, online at levittmachinery.com.
Well, we saw the matchup with that Enzor line against the Sam Steele line. I'll tell you, you really felt the presence early in Sam Steele. Paddock obviously starting the game with the Steele, Wagner, and Leadall line, and he'd be happy with that first shift, wouldn't he be? 30 seconds hemmed into the offensive zone. Nice start.
Not officially, at least on the score clock, a shot on goal. Thought there was one that Stankowski handled on the short side. Brian Lochner with Buziak and Holmes, although already a change with Barzell out. Barzell racing in on right wing. Matthew Barzell, his shot goes off the stick of Chase Harrison. Matthew Barzell points now in the last 6 championship series games, yet has he to record a goal as all plays it in front for Henry, and he was tied up in a knot. Liam Scholler a drive penalty upcoming to the Thunderbirds as the Pats again press, and they will enjoy the game's first power play. 1 minute and 57 seconds in.
Well, we're 2 shifts into the game, and the play has been in the Thunderbirds' defensive zone. That's the start that you want, and Barzell will take the first penalty of the game, and I think it comes off of the heels of a good shift down low by Philip All, who takes the puck out of the corner. There's the hook. He handcuffs All, but we talked about All in the open, how good he was down low, and he didn't waste very much time in Game 3 here making his presence felt.
The New York Islander first rounder takes his seat, and the Pats, who are 3 for 10 on the power play in the first 2 games of this series, operate with it. But it's Niles who chips it, wins a race, and then had his backhand pass go off the back of the net. Hobbs has 4 of his 5 goals in the postseason on the power play. Ottenbright levels Steele in behind the net. Now it's All and Volkin battling for possession. It's underneath All, dug loose, but a hand pass will bring the face-off outside the Seattle zone.
We talk about the fireworks in the first 2 games, both going to overtime, and it's the way it should be. 2 of the best, one from the east and one from the west. And look how close these guys are. Goals for 5, shots for 59, virtually identical. Their power play percentages are within 2 of each other. You look at the hits in the series, they're only a couple apart as well. It's been physical, it's been high tempo, and entertaining to say the least.
Back-to-back overtime games. Remember last year's league final started with 3 in a row. Philip All fans on a shot, backhands it in front. Ottenbright effectively takes care of Sam Steele. Steele to the line it goes, and Hobbs, and now Mahura, the overtime hero of game 2. He had 2 goals. Cruz stripped Hobbs for Ryan Grubb. And offside is the call, and the Pats won't like that. Late shot. Delighted to welcome Stu Walters, and he's between the benches.
Yeah, thanks very much, Peter. In conversation with Connor Hobbs and assistant coach of the Pats, David Struch, yesterday, they said that the T-Birds penalty kill is the most aggressive that they've seen all season long, and as a result, they're switching to a spread, going closer to the perimeter so they can spread out and have a little bit more space. But Struch says they want to keep it simple, just 2 or 3 passes and collapse to the net for the shot, hope for a rebound there. They don't want to get fancy because, as you see, T-Birds on them real fast.
Wagner robbed by Stankowski is the explosive Los Angeles Kings draft pick. Cruised in for another quality opportunity.
How many times have we seen this off of a face-off? Wagner starts on time, he gets a quick play, a turnover, and he converts that into this as he gets a step. We've said that before, haven't we? And he takes the puck. How about the save, the acrobatic save there from Stankowski? Takes the shot, takes the rebound as well.
Austin Wagner, 4th round pick of the Kings in 2015, 14 postseason goals. Only Reed Gardner of Kelowna with more. He notched 15 in the first 3 rounds.
2 of those game 7 against Swift.
Volkin knocks the net off its mooring. And 44 seconds left in the game's first penalty to Seattle's Barzell.
Pay attention to the area around the blue paint here on this power play. Stu mentioned about the adjustments that the Pats have made against a very aggressive penalty kill for Seattle. The Pats have 2 guys, not 1. Normally you've got 1 guy in front of the net and 1 guy off the side for a rebound. They've got 2 guys with their heels on the crease. They're looking for shot, whack, and hack away at that second chance.
Austin Wagner, by the way, still looking for his first point of this championship affair, not for a lack of quality opportunity.
Hard to believe he hasn't found the score sheet.
Mahura, 35 remaining in the power play. Hobbs, he scores! Connor Hobbs whistles it home, and the visitors strike first.
Well, we were at practice here yesterday and watched this Regina Pats team practice their power play. That is exactly what we saw. They're looking to tee up their trigger man, and Connor Hobbs, that's his 6th goal of the postseason, his 5th power play goal. Now he's tied with Bear for the most power play goals among D-men, but look at the way they move the puck from low to high. They've got their net front presence. There's the middle drive. That pulls the defender back, and it opens up the top for the big one-timer. And how about that shot? An absolute bazooka.
Connor Hobbs led all Western Hockey League blue liners in the regular season with 31 goals. That's his 6th of the playoffs as Barzell out of the box tests Tyler Brown.
I'll tell you, as big of a confidence boost it is to get a goal early in a game, to me it's even more of a boost when you execute something exactly how you practiced it the day before. That's good coaching, and that's intelligent players all executing what their coaches ask from them.
Hobbs has 5 of those 6 postseason goals on the power play, the 5th-round pick of the Washington Capitals in 2015. Kevin, I think you would probably agree, nothing better early in a game to have some of your best players touch the puck a lot and achieve some success.
No question about that. Settles everybody down.
Nobody much better with it than the guy who just shot it. That's Barzell. Has at least 1 point in every postseason game he's played. Hyman, rebound. And the Pats able to clear it out of harm's way as Wagner chips and chases. After it against Tishka. Wagner cuts to the middle, back to the line, and Chase Harrison, a wrist shot, and in the shooting lane was Kolesar. It stung him. Nick Henry for Wyatt Slobosian. Finds Mahura, a wrist shot, and that didn't miss the far side by a whole lot. Pats continue to press after scoring the game's opening goal.
Close to too many men, very close.
Robbie Holmes loses the handle, the 17-year-old from Sherwood Park, and now Barzell looks to settle it down in his own zone. Connor Hobbs, 6th of the playoffs, has Regina in front in Game 3, series even at 1. Moylan out there with Tyler Adams. He's from Regina. They changed the first Seattle goal on Saturday and credited it to him. As the puck roll off his stick, and the goal getter, Hobbs, starts in the other direction. Pulled down by the aforementioned Adams, and it's offside at the line. Right back to Stu Wolfers.
Yeah, thanks very much, Peter. And Pats captain Adam Brooks missing his 2nd straight game after taking that big hit in Game 1. The Pats coaching staff not saying a word about his status. You ask them a question, they look away. The good news, perhaps, is that he traveled with the team to Seattle the other day. He did not take part in practice yesterday, nor this morning's game day skate, but he is hanging around the rink, hanging around teammates, and in good spirits. When we've seen him, he's offered a wink and a smile, but again, no update as to when he may possibly return to this series.
They'll be missing his 18 points in 16 games. Keep in mind, 3 of those 16, he sat on the bench against Swift Current, didn't take a shift. They miss his points, they miss much more. He's their spiritual guy.
He was involved in a really neat part of practice yesterday that we'll get to when we have more time. Barzell chips and retrieves it himself for Austin Strand. Strand moving laterally, leaves it for Reese Harsh. Tipped in front, Brown's not sure where it is. The wraparound by Kolesar, and somehow it stays out. Best opportunity for the home side. Barzell wheeling and dealing, back to the line to Harsh again. Kolesar, and in the lane is Slobosian.
All the little details, good job by Seattle, and they've got pressure on. Shot block from Slobosian, the puck ends up 200 feet away from your goaltender. Nice job defensively.
Kolesar inches away from scoring for the 10th time in the playoffs. He leads all Thunderbirds in postseason points with 23. Here comes Ensign. Touch to the middle, he's tripped, and now Seattle will enjoy its first man advantage.
Well, you knew that Keegan Kolesar, who has been absolutely amazing in this postseason for his team, you knew he was going to respond after a late penalty in Game 2, and he comes out with the game's best opportunity. It comes from the point shot. It arrives at the net, and there's the traffic, and how about Kolesar with the rub? Watch how close. It's within inches. He has Brown sucked to the opposite post. The game remains 1-0 for the Regina Pats, but a quality chance for Kolesar down low.
The Thunderbirds operating in the postseason 35% on the power play. And this is why they're about to experience another one as Enser tripped down by Connor Hobbs. In the series, Seattle operating on the power play at 2 for 7. They have a power play goal in each of the first 2. The Pats able to clear the puck down the ice from the faceoff. Electric inside the ShoWare Center. Barzell puts on the brakes to Jared Tishka. Tees it up, Strand lets it go on the short side. Barzell walks down into the circle in front. Enser pokes away at it. So does Niles. Whistle blows.
We'll pay attention to that tight box by Regina again. They take the middle of the ice away. We know they're going to do it, and so does Barzell. The key is to not look for the perfect play. You can see the way Barzell puts the puck to an area, and he's got net front presence. I think it's Enzor. Watch, there's the stick. He pulls it as he's drifting to the middle of the ice, and they have to find a way to get the puck to the net somehow. And their odds are it's probably not going on the first initial shot, but they have to look for that second and third opportunity in tank.
79 points in the 41 regular season games that Barzell played in.
60 points in his last 28 to finish the season. Are you kidding me?
Saucer pass, drop, wrist shot. Looked like it hit shoulder and went out of play.
Never ceases to amaze me how Barzell and his ability to pass the puck right onto the tape. He throws a bit of pixie dust on this thing. Watch how this magically just lands exactly in the wheelhouse of drop and sets him up with time and space to get a quality shot on net. Here's another look at it. Wow.
And a big block by Scholler. 1:17 to go in the penalty to Connor Hobbs for tripping. Sellout crowd here in Kent, Washington, where they watched hockey into May for a second straight time. It's the third league championship appearance by the Thunderbirds. The other came back in 1997 when they were swept by the Lethbridge Hurricanes. Barzell weaves in again, finds Kolazar to Ethan Bear, who has a power play goal in the series. Back to Barzell. Looks in front, scores! Alexander True, and we're tied at 1.
Well, when you look at that first opportunity they got early in the power play with Barzell putting the puck to an area, the third assist to this goes to Steve Konowalchuk. This has got coaching written all over it. They know what Regina's going to throw at them, and watch Barzell get the puck again. They've condensed to the middle. There's Barzell, put the puck to an area. Net front presence. True pulls it from wide to the middle. Here it is again. There it is in the forehand. Pulls it to the middle. And how good has True been net front? That's his 17th of the postseason. Pardon me, that's his 18th point and 10th goal. He's been magical around the blue paint.
The product of Copenhagen, Denmark, ties it. And both teams cash in with the man advantage. Like the series, we're even at 1. Braden Buziak from North Battleford in Saskatchewan. True, wheeling in with that big 6'5" frame. Sergei Zabrovsky to Robbie Holmes. His pass out of the reach of Wagner and cleared right back in by Jared Tishka.
This line for Seattle in practice yesterday might have been the best line on the
ice. Moylan, True, and right now it's Wedman. Moylan, the 18-year-old from Finland, backhands it in, and Mahura takes care of it to Jonathan Smart. To Nick Henry, and he inadvertently chips it into his own bench.
We talk about Brooks and the absence of him out of the lineup, obviously from a devastating hit in Game 1, but this is what they're missing. The guy with 130 points in the regular season, 250 points in his last two. Yeah, just 250. You heard me right. There's the hit that he took in Game 1, and really got to give a lot of credit to the Regina Pats. They didn't fold the 10. That's a tough thing to absorb, a catastrophic hit against their best player, and they've rebounded. You know they'll be looking forward to him coming back sooner than later. A big part of their lineup sitting in the stands.
And they've experienced it already. He missed 5 games of their second round series versus Swift Current, a series that they trailed at one point 3 games to 1. Enser wheeling into the zone, backhands it, goes off Harrison, and content to flip it down the ice is Philip Ball. Strand tripped up. There'll be another Regina penalty. This one will go to Slobosian. Strand denials. Nice take in the neutral zone as Stankowski heads off for an extra attacker. Barzell, who's added to his point streak with an assist on the goal by True to Kolazar. The third round pick of Columbus involved in quite a collision with Connor Hobbs.
There's a lot of meat in that hit, isn't there? Hobbs on Kolasar. Ouch. Well, we're going to find Seattle on their second power play of this game, and it comes off of a forecheck. Slobosian getting there, doing the right thing except for that. He gets his stick into the wheelhouse of Austin Strand as he attempts to wheel around the net. And there's the infraction. Slobosian for 2.
John Paddock's team that had it all going their way, scored the game's first goal, and then the penalty to Hobbs has really turned the tide. And one thing about a building like this one, the momentum swings can be large because of the energy that the home side draws from the fans.
Not to mention the best home record for the regular season, 27-8-0-1 with Seattle.
Has Barzell come off the ice in the period? I know he has, but it doesn't seem like it.
You're talking about the Fonz? It's been pretty good.
Except, I know where he was when Regina scored. He was in the penalty box, so he wasn't out for that stretch. Ethan Bear rips it. Sensational glove save by Tyler Brown.
How much time did Ethan Bear take to get rid of this shot? How about the give and go? Let's watch again. That is a bullet, by the way. Can he shoot the puck with 6 goals in the postseason? There's the one touch to Barzell and back, and what a shot. That is exactly the alley that Bear is looking for. He's putting it to the side. There's net to shoot at, and what a save by Brown. He flashes the leather. That was a dangerous shot by Bear.
And Bear already has 4 points in the first 3 games of this series. He, like Barzell, drew an assist on the true power play goal that is tied it at 7-18. Hobbs wants to clear it, and he does, past Ryan Gropp, the New York Rangers second rounder in 2015. Bear to lead the rush for Kolazar in full flight. True off the stick of Hobbs and out of play.
How about this entry? You won't see one of the 3 forwards break stride here, and it comes out from a clean, organized breakout from Barry. Distributes the puck wide, and with full head of steam, Kolasar, he finds Alexander True in the middle of the ice, who's got the game's first goal for Seattle.
1:22 to go. The captain of the Danish World Junior team in this go-around in Toronto and Montreal. Bear tees it up, Gropp hammered it, and Brown read it like a book.
Well, I'll tell you, when you can shoot the puck like that and you have that many options on the ice with Bear, Gropp, and Barzell, it isn't easy to get into all lanes. Often, if you make 2 clean passes, there's going to be a look to the net, and that's exactly what you see here. From side to the top to the far side, Gropp one times it, clear alley to the net.
Gropp looking for his first goal of the championship series. He had 3 in last year's league final versus Brandon, 2 in game 4.
He's got 11 points in 12 games in the postseason.
A 35 goal getter during the regular season is Dawson Leadall, another 35 goal getter during the regular season, pounces on it and pounds at the distance. Bear. The hitch pass, Barzell, and now Gropp. True, Kolazar, Bear. This is Ethan Bear. Keegan Kolazar. And a heavy wrister from Kolazar, held on to by Brown.
Really effective and efficient power play, but how about Brown? If you need your goalie to be big, he certainly has been, and it's a calming effect. Obviously getting quality shots against. We saw that one from Bear earlier in that power play, and man, oh man, there was bodies net front in him, but he's fighting for sight. He's square to the puck and doesn't seem to be overreacting to anything right now under siege.
Steve Konowalchuk changes 4 of his 5 power play participants. Barzell the only exception.
I think he can stay on the ice for 45 minutes a night.
He wouldn't say no. He is so gifted. Strand. Tishka right back to the former Red Deer Rebel. Wants a lane. Barzell. Brown just got enough. One touch to Strand. Traffic in front. Barzell into the circle, backpedals behind his back. Strand in the lane, blocking it. That was Leadall. A patch can't clear it, and there'll be another penalty. A slashing call, this time going to the home team.
Well, you talk about ebbs and flows, and Seattle has certainly been getting a lot of looks on their power play. 2 seconds left on it, and they certainly had Regina on the ropes, but a real good second effort from Connor Hobbs.
Hobbs opened the scoring. True answer. 1-1 in game 3.
Welcome to Select Fluid Power, home of our brand new state-of-the-art cylinder repair and hard chrome plating facility. With a fully equipped hydraulic cylinder repair shop, Select Fluid Power is your one-stop cylinder repair shop. Open 7 days a week, serving Western Canada.
It's very hard to be different sometimes, but I would just like the world to know I can do everything that you can, maybe even better.
The Warrants has not only paid for Trinity's recreational limbs, they've also enabled Trinity to get that confidence in herself.
It's very important to believe in yourself. The Warrants helps me to run, jump, play.
All thanks to your support of the Key Tag service.
Before and after the game, Tony Roma's offers casual family dining. Tony Roma's, a family destination, legendary ribs, and famous for so much more.
With Thunderbirds head coach Steve Konowalchuk. And Steve, how pleased with your team's response after going down 1-0 early?
Well, it was good. You know, they got a quick power play goal, but I thought we got going a little bit, got our feet moving, drew a couple penalties, and scored on one of the power plays.
Steve, have you found this a matchup series so far, and will last change be a big difference for you?
Well, at times. It's nice to have the last change, but I think they've got lines they can throw out and be confident, so do we.
Why are you not surprised the crowd didn't get less boisterous when you went down 1-0?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Why are you not surprised the crowd didn't get less boisterous when you went down 1-0?
Oh, they love cheering. They're going to cheer. They're going to have a fun time all night.
Thanks, Steve.
Betcha.
Guys.
Well, if you're wondering how we got here, this is how. Regina started on fire, and Stankowski in the first period of Game 1 was excellent, and then Niles gets the overtime winner to win it 2-1 in Game 1, and an early turnover in Game 2 puts Regina on the board, but they had 3 goals scored against them in 56 seconds. All had a part in getting back into the game, and in overtime, Mahura gets his second of the night, and that's where we stand, all tied 1-1 in the series.
2 seconds remaining in Slobozin's penalty. Strands for slashing. Here's how it occurred.
Here's that opportunity for Strand to jump up in the play. He loses possession of the puck, and you can see the battle axe swing on Hobbs, and there's the infraction.
So the young man from Calgary takes a seat, and the Pats about to operate on their second power play. They're 1 for 1. 4 out of 11 in this series. A Pats team that operated at a league best 31.1% during the course of the regular season. They're at 26 so far in the postseason. Lead-all to Hobbs, who has a power play goal tonight. Mahura, they play catch. Steele pressured by Ottenbright. And the aggressive penalty kill pays dividends on the clear.
How about that hyena-like attack on that penalty kill in the D zone? If you bobble the puck for a second, it's out.
You could feel Ottenbright's breath on Steele from here. Lead all, sharp angle, and Stankowski able to pounce on it.
Nice anticipation by Stankowski. He recognizes the shots coming from wide. He just gets down, puts his paddle, lets it hit him, and he absorbs shots. We talk about him all the time being only 16 years old, but he's far beyond his years, and it's all above his shoulders. It's his mindset, it's his mental toughness, and he just doesn't seem to get rattled at any time, no matter what moment it is in the game.
Chatted with Thunderbirds goaltending coach Ian Gordon this morning, and he just raved about his poise. The only concern as the playoffs have gone along was, could the youngster deal with the stage? I think those questions have all been answered.
Absolutely, they sure have.
Lead all on the Pat power play. Backhands it, cross ice, finds Hobbs, and Ottenbright again with a good stick forces an offside.
You look at the production throughout the course of the first 3 rounds and into round 4, and you see the numbers. Excellent against Tri-Cities in round 1 as they swept them 9-2-2. He dipped a little bit against Everett, but in times where maybe he sagged, his team rallied around him, and he did the same for his team. You look at game 3 against Kelowna in round 3, he had a 9-1-2. If not for his performance in that game, I'm not so sure that series is over in 6. And here in round 4, a 914 save percentage. Excellent numbers from the youngster.
8-4, a shot on goal advantage for the Thunderbirds. 45 remaining in the Pats power play. They've yet to get set up with it. And holding it in was Harrison to Henry. Chase Harrison. Wrist shot, he scores! Chase Harrison, who hasn't found the back of the net, going all the way back to the 21st of January in Swift Current, has given Regina back the lead.
Well, Harrison gets his first goal and 5th point of the postseason, and the thing that hurts about this one so much is you'll be surprised that Ethan Bear has the puck on his stick. It's going to happen down low. If you watch and pay attention to your left of the screen, right there, Bear, he gets that puck out 9 times out of 10, and he doesn't. And so often it's amazing to me how the hockey gods make you pay for little details that you don't take care of. There's the shot from the top. Regina up 2-1 on the power play.
Chase Harrison, a 16-game point streak early in the season, but really is a steady Eddie type defender. But he's on the board with his first in months. And the Pats back in front as a result. Henry credited right now with the lone assist at 12:27. Pats are 2 out of 2 on the power play. Seattle's 1 for 2.
Well, you talk about Harrison in the 16-game point streak. He had 21 points in that span, but that's not what defines him. Perhaps the 48 points he chips in offensively. He's got good numbers, but the plus 50, and it's all about the habits with Harrison. If you got a youngster at home watching and wants to be a defensive defenseman, a guy that takes care of his own end, watch number 6 for Regina.
Barzell and his line out against Slobosian with All and Henry. Henry beats out the icing, stays with it. Second in the league in rookie points this season, as All is upended in front. Play continues. Slobosian comes out of the pile, continues the cycle, misses Philip All with it, and puck basically lays loose in the corner for Barzell to take care of it. Now All stapled to Tishka with help and support from Slobosian as Hobbs sends it down low for Slobosian again. His centering pass tapped away by Big Aaron Hyman. All 6'5" of them, the former Calgary Hitman who came over in a trade this season. And finally, Barzell breaks it up and hits back with speed in the other direction. The dangerous one to Ryan Groff. Kicked away by Brown. Barzell with it again. His pass finds Ethan Bear. He'll send it down low. Kolazar in a tussle with Hobbs. We've seen a lot of that since game 2 started. And Hobbs flips it out towards Holmes. And offside is the call at the Thunderbird line.
We love the little battles within the battle. We talk about the Ottenbright-Wagner matchup, and we're watching this Kolazar and Connor Hobbs matchup as well. Never does either side turn down an opportunity to get on the body and let the other person know that they're there. And that's what you have to do against the best players. You have to be on the body to take away momentum, take away their speed. And good job by Connor Hobbs. We've seen him a couple times tonight in the defensive zone. I'm not sure how crazy anybody would be having to go full force into Kolazar. 6'3", 225. He's a man. This guy has the frame of a pro and not easy to play against.
Third round pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets is Keegan Kolazar, not out there right now. It's Adams with True, who has the Seattle goal on the power play, and Moylan. Moylan blocked in front. Able to keep it in was Moylan again, and Brown out of the net to handle it for Jeff DeWitt, who has not been used a lot, especially in game 2.
4 goals in the postseason, 3 of them came against Lethbridge, including the game winner in game 6.
Bobrovsky knocks Moylan off it, but right there again is True. High slot, tipped in front, they score! Moylan, and we're tied again.
What quick hands, puck to the net, and we've always seen white jerseys in tight in front of Tyler Brown. He's had to deal with a heck of a lot of traffic, but a good job. And this line again, I talked about them yesterday in practice. I liked him the most out of all 4 lines for Seattle, and there's up high. Tyler Adams gets it to the net. Moylaninen recovers the rebound, and look at the quick hands. Right there, there's a shot, quick, no chance for Brown, and that evens things up at 2. That's the first goal and first point in round 4 in this series for Moylaninen.
Sami Moylaninen, the 18-year-old from Sipoo in Finland, as his 5th of the postseason, and this game's first even strength goal. Niles chasing after it against Mahura. And Sergei Zabrowski, another New York Ranger prospect with a good outlet. Lead all to Wagner, blocked by Otten Bright. Wagner carries on, and a glove save on the sharp angle shot from Wagner by Stankowski.
You're wondering what the best of the best looks like? This is what the best of the best looks like. One team scores, the other team responds. Physical, tempo, speed, everything's at the net. There's bodies around the net. This series certainly has not disappointed to this point. 2 overtime games in the first 2. And what tempo and what entertainment here in the first period of game 3.
Can't imagine, once again, anybody would be disappointed with the entertainment level. And we still have 4:45 to go in the first period.
You don't like this? You don't like hockey.
Correct. Barzell against Slobozhin. Moylanen's 5th from True has a goal and an assist. And Adams, big point shot, rebound. Slobozhin's shot from a sharp angle, went wide. Harrison finds Dawson Leadall in front. Great stop by Stankowski off Wagner, who after finding the net 14 times through the first 3 rounds has been a little snake bit in the first 3 games of this championship affair.
Well, a lot of that has been because he's had to go up against Turner Ottenbright here, but if you look at the matchup, there's Hyman and Tishka, and Wagner licking his chops as he doesn't have to contend with big number 4 in Seattle, and he gets a great chance on net in tight.
Second real quality opportunity for Austin Wagner, who's from Calgary.
30 goals in the regular season. He's got 3 shorthanded goals in the postseason. He had 5 in the regular season. Pete, 21 shorthanded goals in his past 3 seasons, regular season and playoffs. 21.
I think one of the fastest players I've ever seen in the league.
We talked the other night about other guys that would have been close, and there are some, but I'm not sure that there's anybody that's faster.
Donovan Niles to Nolan Volkin. Brown deep in the net as he backhands that wide of the target, and Enser plays it back to Ottenbright. Mahura coming off a 2-goal performance in game 2. Henry relays it towards Steele with all. John Paddock shakes things up a little bit. Steele upended, tries to keep it alive, does so. Enser regains his balance, and here comes the young man from Englewood, Colorado. Ottenbright at the end of his shift, content to shovel it in. And Steve Konowalchuk's crew making wholesale changes with 3.5 to go in the first period. Strand, who was Austin Wagner's bantam teammate with the Calgary North Star Sabres. Barzell away from Holmes, finds drop. Kolazar a little impatient. Barzell, an assist in the game, has a point in every playoff game he has played. He missed the entire Tri-City series with illness in round 1.
And here's another example of how well of a skater that he is. We talk about it all the time, how he makes really good players look really average, and it's about his evasiveness. He's so hard to anticipate, so good on his edges. His skating ability, his puck ability, second to none in this league.
21 points now in the playoffs in 13 games, and this one has plenty of time left in it. 2-time member of Canada's World Junior team. Barzell, the entry for Gropp. Leadall on top of him. Barzell knocks it down with that great hand-eye, and Leadall does the same in turn towards Wagner. Here he comes racing in, tries to throw it on target from behind the end line, and Stankowski will hang on.
Talk about the many skills that Matthew Barzell has. We saw him pluck that puck out of the air, and there's nothing about that that he was hoping to do. He knows where the puck is, he knows where his stick is, and he just so calmly keeps this puck into play. There it is, on his backhand to boot. Look at that, he puts it right into his wheelhouse, maintains puck control. That's what he's all about. He's all about puck possession.
Funny to see Leadall and Drop in a battle. You might see that in the fall at Rangers camp.
Yeah, they'll be teammates in the future, hopefully.
Ottenbright away from Henry to Nolan Volkin from Edmonton. Moylan, who has tied the game with his 5th of the postseason. Good shoulder check thrown by Zabrowski to create some separation, but there's True in the way again. The more I watch Alexander True, I can't help but think that somebody's going to call his name in Chicago at the end of June.
Well, he's got everything you'd want. 6'3". He's got ability offensively. He goes to the net. He's not afraid to take a hit to make a play. He is really improved from last year to this. He was good last year. Much better this.
Harsh steps up at center, as does Hobbs, as Wedman clears it behind the net. Harrison, who has one of the 2 Regina goals, both of them coming on the power play. Good move by Lochner with Buziak. It's in behind him in the high slot, and turning in the other direction is Enser. Fans want a penalty. Enser clears it. A shot attempt by Wedman, and Brown the save, and emotions flying high. I think we're going to have coincidental penalties here late in the frame.
I love the fact that the referee doesn't call the penalty in the neutral zone that everybody wanted. From the fans were screaming for it, but it was 2 guys battling, getting locked up with each other. It is the playoffs, but how about this entry there on your left of your screen? You see it, the non-call, but watch how Enser, how does he get that puck on net into a dangerous area? I'll tell you how, because he never quits on a play. He's laying on his back right here, and there it is. We've seen Alec Ovechkin make plays like that in the past. Not Scott Enser.
And some punches thrown. Referee Ingram. 2 minutes each to Matthew Wedman. And looks like he is joined by Braden Buziak. 11-6 are the shots on goal. Need to get to the end of the period to catch our breath. This is what it's all about. Bear looking for a redirection of Kolazar, just failed to make the connection with his stick, and Mahura finds Sam Steele. Steele was 27 playoff points, maneuvers his way inside the zone, now looks for the puck behind the net. Leadall is there as we play 4-on-4. Drops it for Mahura, 3rd round pick of the Anaheim Ducks, and Barzell picks his puck. Bear, long lead pass, wanted Kolazar. Here comes Ottenbright, and it's offside.
Well, we talked about how quickly these 2 teams got into this series. They played each other only 1 time this regular season. I believe that was back October 31st in Regina. And it was from the puck drop that these 2 teams got on it. They didn't feel each other out. There was emotion involved. We've seen it throughout the first 2 games in Regina. Again here, tempo and physicality has been present from both sides.
Pats won that game at the end of October, 6-3. Kolazar and Barzell did not participate in the contest for Seattle. Strand, there they are, the 2 former Bantam teammates going at one another.
Just another example of what makes playoffs so great. Everybody is pouring everything out every shift. There are no shifts off. There's no rest, and it's just the strong and the fit among the fit can survive at this time of the year.
Strand is going to go for the 2nd time. This one for interference.
Well, we'll get another look at this one as Strand gets knotted up here, and he's going to go off for 2 minutes on interference. There he is, where he makes a pick. You think that, to me, it looked like he was looking to get the pick, and then he thought better of it. Nonetheless, he got in the forechecker's way. The refs see it that way, and it's now a 4-on-3.
Strand joins Wedman, and the Pats 2 for 2 already on the power play. Have another one with less than a minute left. I don't think you need more than one guess as to whether they'd like that call here in Kent or not. Bear fans on his first clearing attempt. Wrists it out on the second. Remember, he's playing with an injured left hand.
Sure doesn't show, does it? He's been firing the puck like even better than he has before.
Good reverse by Niles. Bear doesn't locate it. The Pats do. Steele to Mahura. And Hobbs, who has a power play marker this evening. As they work 4-on-3 in front, backhander lead all. Stankowski with a big save.
What a heads-up play to get the puck to the front of the net as Lido finds himself with time and space. And it was just a puck that was delivered on the ice. We saw the first 2 goals against Stankowski right on the ice. And there it's delivered Lido with time and space. And Stankowski knows he's got to be going low because he's in tight. And he seals the 5-hole. And again, good job by Steele to deliver the puck. Nice save and no rebound again by the youngster.
Both teams worked a lot yesterday on the power play. The adjustments are working.
And remember, both teams had a 4-on-3 power play goal in game 1.
Steele. Forced back to the boards. Fans on a pass and nearly stayed with it to hook up with Liedall, who wins the battle as he tries to feed Mahura. And a wild and woolly first period in ShoWare, or at the ShoWare Center, comes to a conclusion.
Well, you talk about 2 teams that had great specialty team statistics throughout the regular season, and that's what we saw here in the first 20 minutes is specialty teams going both ways. I'm not sure either coach is going to want to continue throughout the rest of the course of this game that way, but a heck of an entertaining first period here, knotted up at 2 after 20.
2 power play goals for the Pats. A power play goal by Alexander True, and then the only even strength marker courtesy of Sammy Moyalinen at 14:48. The reason why we are even after 20 minutes of play in game number 3. 2-2 here in Kent, Washington. Hobbs opened the scoring. True tied it. Harrison on the power play before Moyalinen evened the score.
Hi folks, it's me, Don Taylor, way up here with my friend Murph. At Levitt Machinery, they sell, lease, rent, and service all these machines, and they offer certified training. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it. Levitt.
No, Frank, don't carry it, dribble it. Dribble it, Frank, dribble it. Frank, shoot.
Is this some kind of Canadian joke, sir? I mean, I know you're the instructor and everything, but if we can't carry the ball, how can we get a decent shot at the peach basket?
All right. Maybe we can allow a carry of a couple of steps.
And Mr. Naismith, sir, it sure slows things down having to climb up here every time.
Well, then let's cut the bottom out of the basket.
Ah, but I need these baskets back.
100 years after James Naismith from Almont, Ontario invented it, basketball was being played by hundreds of millions of people around the world.
Tony Roma's, serving its signature ribs for 40 years. With an expanded menu including steaks, chicken, and seafood, Tony Roma's is a family dining destination. Tony Roma's, legendary for ribs, famous for so much more.
Bob Dale Gloves WHL Central is brought to you by Bob Dale Gloves. Found online at bobdalegloves.com.
And welcome back to Seattle 2-2 after 20 minutes of play in Game 3 of the WHL Championship Series here with Pats forward Dawson Liedall. And Dawson, how pleased with your team's start on the road in a tough environment?
Yeah, it was awesome to get an early one there on the power play. We just try to take the crowd out of it a little bit.
Seems like a special teams affair so far. What's working for you guys on the power play? 2 goals in that first period and 4 in the series.
We're just trying to get pucks to the net with traffic and make sure the goalie can't see it.
How emotional is it getting out there? Is there becoming a pretty good, healthy dislike for one another?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I played against them for 4 years before this, so it's been a grind for me for sure against these guys for 4 years. But yeah, it's getting gritty out there.
Hey Dawson, after 4 years in Everett, what made the transition so easy to Regina? I know it's your home province of Saskatchewan, but you flourished here in your first season.
Yeah, it's just been a really good fit for me. I mean, all the coaches are really good, all the guys are really good, and playing with guys like Sam Steele and Nick Henry really helped.
Can I ask you about a very special moment at practice yesterday? All the teammates came around this bench here, and Adam Brooks revealed a little bit of news that you had signed an entry-level deal with the New York Rangers, 3 years. How special was that, and to share that with your teammates?
Oh, it's super special. Anytime you get a good moment in your life like that, it's awesome when you have the 20, 25 guys to share it with.
Was it kind of interesting? Were you making other hockey plans in the middle of this here?
Well, I wasn't thinking about it too much. I was going to cross that bridge when I came to it, but it's nice knowing what I'm going to do now.
43rd playoff game for you. How much does experience help at this time of year, Dawson?
Helps a little bit. I mean, calms the nerves a little bit and makes you be able to make the plays a little easier, so it's good.
Dawson, thanks so much for your time. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Second leading scorer, Dawson Leadall in the playoffs for the Pats. Let's head up to Andy Neal and Joey Kenward.
All right, thanks very much, Stu. 23 points in the playoffs for Dawson Leadall coming into tonight as we welcome you back to Bobdale Gloves WHL Central alongside Joey Kenward. And congrats to Dawson Leadall on the contract. We'll get to that in a second. But 3 power play goals to kick things off offensively in the first period tonight. Joey Sammy Morlanen, the lone even strength goal, but a high-octane first period again.
Yeah, and I don't think we should be at all surprised that it was high-octane hockey through the opening 20 minutes here in Kent, Washington. These were 2 teams that I think really wanted to feed off the energy in the early going tonight in front of a sold-out crowd. Regina, as players, haven't played in this building in quite some time, and this is a real raucous rink. It's 2-for-1 Tuesdays here. Now, you and I aren't partaking in that, but a lot of the fans are, and it's a really, really cool atmosphere to be in, and this is a market that is starving for a WHL title. They've had this team as a 40-year franchise trying to get their first WHL crown, but they're in tough tonight here against the Regina Pats.
You know, Kevin Sawyer was talking about the changes the Pats wanted to make with Connor Hobbs taking a little bit off that booming shot, and he opens the scoring with it.
Yeah, and it was something we watched here in practice yesterday. You know, Hobbs has one of the harder shots from the point in the Western Hockey League, but we just got the sense that maybe with a couple of opportunities he had in games 1 and 2 at the Brand Center back in Regina, that he wasn't finding the target or seeing the shot get square right to the goaltender. Well, tonight he's already done what we saw for about 10 minutes in practice. Maybe take a little bit off that shot. Just get it through lanes, get it through skates, sticks, and eventually, if you can, get it low enough that Stankowski couldn't see it. It's exactly what happened, and almost a carbon copy goal as well for Chase Harrison on their second power play tally in that period. So a good start for Regina here on the road.
67 seconds still left on the power play for Regina that they'll have to start the second period. We just heard from Dawson Leadall, 35 goals in the regular season, and he gets rewarded with a contract from the New York Rangers. And it was such a special moment because all the team crowded around him when the news was broken by Adam.
You know,
Brooks.
we were lucky enough to be here at their practice yesterday. The building was empty, so Andy and I and the rest of the broadcast team were here watching practice. And right at the end of practice, everybody got called over to the bench. John Paddock had actually brought Adam Brooks, who was not taking part in practice, over, whispered in his ear something, and then Brooks sort of had everybody around, and everybody in our section, which was across the ice on the benches, sort of said, hey, let's just, what's going on here? And sure enough, there was a message being sent. Then everybody started crowding around Leadall, and you could hear guys shouting, pizza, pizza on you, pizza on you. And I thought, well, maybe this guy just got earned a contract. And sure enough, he does. And it's well-deserving for the forward from the Prairies because he has had an absolute breakout season as an overager. Leadall tied for 5th in WHL playoff scoring entering tonight's game with 11 goals and 12 assists. Played a huge role to get the Pats back into this series with a couple of helpers in the overtime victory in game number 2. Here he is setting up Connor Hobbs with the lone Pats goal in game number 1. He's got points in 6 straight playoff games entering tonight's affair here in Kent, Washington. And a guy that, even though if he hasn't scored in this series, has already shown in the playoffs he's got the capabilities to get the job done when given the opportunity. So it's always good to see these kids sign contracts. There's not every player in the WHL that gets that privilege, and Dawson Leadall is definitely worthy of that honor tonight.
And Josh Mahura also taking advantage of his chances too. They brought him in from the Red Deer Rebels, big trade deadline deal with Red Deer, along with Jeff DeWitt coming the other way, and Josh coming through with 2 goals in Game 2.
And of all the players that were brought into the Pats lineup this year, in a year where many expected they could take a run for an Ed Chanel Cup, he probably was the most important. And that's not to take anything away from the other players that John Paddock and the rest of management acquired via trade. But Mahura was really the key component of that blockbuster deadline deal with the Red Deer Rebels. Why? Well, his proof is in the pudding at this point. 6 goals, 10 assists so far this point season. Here is the overtime winning goal in game number 2. 4 goals, 1 assist in his 4 of his last 5 games. He's playing his 42nd WHL playoff game tonight. 8 goals and 13 helpers. 4 of his 8 goals in the postseason have been on the power play. He enters Game 3 tied for first overall in WHL defenseman as far as goal scoring is concerned, and Mahura is showing why he's going to be a real important piece for the Anaheim Ducks defense corps in the future.
Well, Peter Labardi has mentioned about Alexander True, and perhaps the team's going to take a chance on him in Chicago at the NHL draft. He's been an unsung hero for the T-Birds, and a goal and an assist in that first period.
If you're thinking what else could True do to get noticed by NHL scouts this spring, I don't know if he could be doing anything else. He's been the best player on the ice for the Thunderbirds through 20 minutes tonight. He was one of the better players in the first 2 games for Seattle to earn a split in Regina this past weekend, and now he is the sole leader in the T-Birds locker room for goals in the postseason. The Denmark native's got 10 goals, 6 of which have come on the power play. And for a 3rd-year import forward, he's playing in his 41st WHL playoff game tonight. How about this? 31 points, in the WHL playoffs. 10 of his 18 goals have been on the power play, and it's also important when you're making such a long playoff run to rely on your go-to offensive leaders. And for this Seattle team, it's obviously Matthew Barzell and Keegan Colasar and Ryan Grubb. You need depth if you want to win, and if the Thunderbirds are going to prevail in this series, whenever it gets finished, and if they come out on top, I think we're talking about Alexander True being a real important part of that organization to have claimed a WHL crown.
And maybe a potential MVP candidate. We know people have been talking about MVPs when this series is over, but another one is Carl Stankowski in goal, even in a losing cause. Big Game 2 for him.
Yeah, I can't really fault him tonight on the goals he's given up here to Regina on the power play, and you cannot fault him really at all for the defeats that he has suffered this postseason. There haven't been a lot of them. Only 3 losses for this rookie netminder in the WHL playoffs. And folks, just one of the losses have come in regulation time. He's 11-3 in the postseason. He was excellent in game number 1, stopping point-blank chances like we're seeing here at the Brand Center. Carl Stankowski is 6-2 on the road in these playoffs for the T-Birds. There's a long ways to go for this team to get to a Memorial Cup championship, but they really aren't even in this position right now if he hasn't accomplished what he's done between the pipes.
And it's funny, yesterday Ryland Toth was watching in the stands. He did join on the ice, but again, he's still watching tonight.
And he did actually take part in a very optional morning skate here at the ShoWare Center. Just a couple of the extra bodies for Seattle that aren't taking part tonight, but he did take part, seeing some shots, a little bit of a light workout, but still a timetable to be determined when Toth might be back in action for Seattle.
All right, well, there you go. Sam Steele also 50 seconds in. You know he's a player that people are going to be keying on for the T-Birds, but how much do you think confidence grew for him 50 seconds in?
No question, that was huge. And for a player that now, in the absence of the captain and leading point getter Adam Brooks, a leading goal scorer that is, Steele knows that this is his time to shine. And that's a lot to say about an 18-year-old player in this league. But when you're a first-round draft pick in the NHL, like Sam Steele is, He's going to garnish a lot of attention. 9 goals and 19 assists in the playoffs this year for Regina. Has only scored twice in his last 8 games. Not for lack of chances, though, but here's that goal that really, I think, took a load off of him. A turnover in the opening minute of game number 2 by the T-Birds defense allowed him to find the back of the net for Regina. He's playing in his 34th playoff game tonight for the Pats. How about these numbers? 15 goals, 29 assists, enters tonight's action with points in 6 of his last 7 games. And you know he would love nothing more than to quiet this crowd down over the next 3 games here in Kent.
Well, you know, he's going to be a key. Another one is Ryan Gropp, who led Seattle in scoring during the regular season, an X factor in this series.
He certainly is, and one of the more experienced offensive threats for Seattle has yet to score in this series, and not for lack of opportunities. He's had a boatload of them. Not only a couple of shifts tonight, but really a number of point-blank opportunities in Regina in games 1 and 2. But when you just look at the stat sheet, you say he hasn't scored. Yeah, but he wound up collecting points in 9 of his last 10 playoff games. He had a huge series in round 3 in the Western Conference finale against the Kelowna Rockets. We're seeing the goals that he scored. 3 goals and 3 assists in that series against the team from the Okanagan. Tonight, he's playing in his 39th WHL playoff game. 12 goals, 22 assists. He had 6 goals last year in the playoffs. He's only got 4 to this point. But I think his best hockey is yet to come. And if you're a T-Birds fan watching tonight, that's good news.
And more problems for Regina, not only up front for Seattle, but on the back end as well. Austin Strand, although he didn't get credit for the goal, he's had a great playoffs. We've all been talking about Ethan Bear, but it's been throughout the lineup for Seattle on the back end.
Collective group points-wise as far as offense distributed from the Seattle defense. And when you've got the top defenseman award winner in the WHL on your blue line, chances are he's got some players that get him the puck. And Ethan Bear is obviously the player everybody focuses it on from the blue line for Seattle. But you're right. So far in these playoffs, and they've already collected an assist tonight on the blue line, Seattle Thunderbirds D-men have 14 goals and 36 assists. 8 of those 14 goals have been on the power play. And you know what maybe the most important stat is for the Thunderbirds defense? 4 times this year, a Seattle Thunderbirds blue liner has scored a game-winning goal in the playoffs. And Turner Ottenbright, one of many players who's chipped in offensively. Some people will say game-winning goals don't mean a thing. You know what? At this time of year, they mean everything to a hockey team trying to progress on and win a championship. So Seattle's defense is certainly earning glowing remarks for obvious reasons.
Ethan Bear almost scored his 7th in that first period, a rocket from the line, but there was Tyler Brown with a great glove save. So what about from the other side of the ice? We talked about Stankowski, but how about Brown?
You know what? Brown, who just has taken home his 3rd WHL Goalie of the Week honors in the last 4 weeks, is doing exactly in this series what he has done through the first 3 rounds of the WHL Eastern Conference. There's been times when maybe he's bent, but he hasn't shown any signs of breaking between the pipes for Regina. He's 13-6 in the playoffs, but you know what? Only 2 of his losses in this postseason, Andy, have come in regulation time. He's collected his 20th WHL playoff victory last Saturday in game number 2, and that might have been the biggest save that he made through the first 2 games of this series when he robbed Hyman late in the 3rd period of play. And Brown, as we mentioned, the reigning WHL Goalie of the Week, has picked up right where he left off tonight. I don't think you can fault him on the 2 power play goals he's given up against Seattle tonight, but you know he's going to be put to the test here, not only as this game rolls along, but as this series rolls along.
Inside the WHL with Joey Kenworth through a period in a 2-2 tie of Game 3 of the WHL Championship on Shaw, Access, and This TV.
Join the movement. You have the power to give life. Donate blood today.
Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Catch the NHL stars of tomorrow today. The road to WHL Championship glory ends here when the Regina Pats battle the Seattle Thunderbirds for the right to be crowned Edge&Out Cup champions. For complete playoff broadcast information, visit shawtv.ca or whl.ca.
Hi, I'm Don Taylor here at Levitt Machinery, inviting you to watch Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw.
Welcome to Select Fluid Power, home of our brand new state-of-the-art cylinder repair and hard chrome plating facility. With a fully equipped hydraulic cylinder repair shop, Select Fluid Power is your one-stop cylinder repair shop. Open 7 days a week, serving Western Canada.
Well, Western Hockey League is huge. I mean, it's the route I took. I mean, they do a wonderful job, and we're here to, prove ourselves. I chose the WHL because it's one of the best leagues in the world.
WHL Chatter is a beautiful women program, is a new initiative designed to recognize remarkable billet moms. 6 billet moms from across the WHL were recognized for their outstanding contributions. Visit WHL.ca to view their stories. Second period about to get underway here in Kent, Washington, and let's send things over to Peter Labardius and Kevin Sawyer. Gentlemen.
Andy, thank you so much. Kevin, tons of entertainment and 4 goals.
Well, they didn't waste very much time, and I love the adjustment that Regina made on their power play. They worked on it yesterday in practice, and off of an ozone face-off loss. Look at the job All does down low at the bottom of your screen, winning a battle, and then he gets net front. Look at the middle drive to the middle. That opens up the top, and there's the one-timer. Hobbs worked on it yesterday, getting it on net, and that opened the scoring with a 5-hole goal against it. Seattle had something to say about that. Time and space, we've seen it throughout the course of the first 2 games on the power play. Watch Barzell throw that puck to an area. True, he gets his second of the series. He's been excellent net front, and then Regina again puts the puck in on the power play, and I'll tell you what, the hockey gods, we mentioned it before, when you don't make the puck up or get the puck out of the zone, usually you're going to pay for it. Baird doesn't get it out. Harrison gives it, he gets it. Look, net front traffic. Stankowski looks right, the puck goes left, and that goes 2-1 for Regina. Then how about Seattle again? Drew taking the puck out of the pile, it goes high, and the quick hands from Moylan and tie this game up at 2, and an explosive first period that had a lot of specialty teams, no short of entertainment value.
Only the Moylan goal is 5th of the playoffs, not on the power play, and Regina starts period number 2 with 1 minute and 7 seconds left in their 3rd of the game. They're 2 out of 2. Steele, Mahura, Leadall, and Hobbs, who has one of their 2 power play goals. Coincidental penalties to Wedman and Buziak will come to a conclusion in 12 seconds. Steele just out of the reach of Leadall. Mahura pinching down. Niles cuts it off behind the net. It comes back to the line. Hobbs goes to his knees to play it for Mahura. Fakes the shot. The other 2 penalties are over. Stankowski wasn't sure on the short side, but he made the save on the shot by Josh Mahura. And now maybe a short-handed breakaway. Brown had to race out and played it pretty calmly, I might add. Here's Hobbs. Behind the net. Rims it. Steele looking to track it down. He can't get to it. Mahura's backhand knocked down by Niles, and here he comes with Drew. Niles robbed by Brown. Terrific feed by Drew, already has a goal and an assist. Back come the Pats. All had an opportunity and hit hard. Chances at both ends. Penalty is expired as Kolizar wheels in, puts on the brakes. The big right winger to Reese Harsh in the slot. Drop. Knocks it out of midair. Sent it wide, and now Brown takes care of it.
Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw has been brought to you by Levitt Machinery. Online at levittmachinery.com.
Seattle pouring it on, down a man on the penalty kill. This comes after a rush for Seattle, and a nice pass feathered into the wheelhouse of Niles, who makes a Great shot on net. Brown, we've talked about him making key saves in big moments. Short-handed opportunities for Seattle, 2 of them, and here's the other where Wedman's in a foot race and Brown comes out, gets a little bit of contact, but boldly clears the puck to a safe area. What a sequence of events.
Excellent save, in particular off Niles, who has points in 3 straight playoff games, by Brown. Hyman to Gropp, as Seattle's top offensive unit on the ice. Hyman's low wrister, wide of the target. Kolazar cuts to the middle of the ice. Keegan Kolazar from Winnipeg, Manitoba, loses the handle, and Slobozhin uses his strength, and now another penalty on the way to the Thunderbirds. They are calling it tight tonight.
Well, this comes off of puck possession with Kolesar in the offensive zone. He had 2 penalties in Game 2 after serving a suspension for a hit from behind in Game 6 against Kelowna. He has the puck, he turns it over. A good job by Slobozhin getting up ice. Does Slobozhin wrap his arm around the stick from Kolesar? Maybe a wily move into the playoffs. Regardless, Seattle down 2 minutes for it.
Kevin, how difficult. This has really been a game of special teams. Tough to get everybody rolled over in your lineup.
Hard for everybody. You're absolutely right. You just can't get flow. You want to get through your lineup. You want to get to your depth. Instead, you're putting guys in on the power play, on the penalty kill, and it really can disrupt the flow of the game.
So the Pats, 2 minutes in, right back to the man advantage. Hobbs, Mahura, Sam Steele, off the stick of Ottenbright, intended for lead all. And then Ottenbright leans on Philip All, which allows the Thunderbirds a lane to clear it down the ice.
You got to make sure that you're crisp with the puck if you're with the Regina Pats. Seattle kills with such ferocity. You bobble it once, it's gone 200 feet.
Steele back to Mahura for lead all. Nice take in his skates, right back to the left-handed shooting defenseman. Blocked by Bear, and here's Enser. Fans. Stays right with it. Up front on the penalty kill is True. Good work by Enser, the co-captain of this Seattle team in his final junior hockey season. Look at him go to work.
You have to have guys like that to have success in the postseason. My goodness, is he putting everything onto the ice right now.
And the fans are telling him how much they appreciate that effort as All hits center before clearing it in. Bear first to it, pressured by Slobozhin. Philip All darts in front. The net had come up, but not off. And the pass goes past Mahura all the way back to Brown. Nice saucer pass by the goalie. Slobozhin with Henry. Races in. He led all rookies this year with 13 power play goals. Nick Henry to Sergei Zborowski. And Chase Harrison tipped in front, goes off a body, but not on target. Wagner, who's been all around it tonight. For Henry, his shot. Stankowski able to hang on.
Well, after a ferocious penalty kill here from Seattle in the first half of this power play, it's hard to settle things down, but a good job by Regina getting the puck to the net. And watch Wagner show his skills. On his knees, he toe drags the puck, maintains puck possession. You kidding me? Come on. Keeps the puck and he keeps it alive. Good skill and good job on the second effort to keep that puck in the offensive zone.
I would have to think the Los Angeles Kings have been appreciative of the spring Austin Wagner is having.
They're getting great value, or they have potential to get great value out of their 99th pick overall.
Zborowski's shot hit Wagner in the back of the leg. Drop is upended. Barzell one-on-one. Good work by Zborowski. And Seattle kills off another Regina power play. The Pats now 2 for 4. The Thunderbirds 1 for 2 in the game.
Just chuckling here with our producer Dave Roberts about the attention that Barzell draws to himself. A one-on-4, a literal one-on-4 in the offensive zone, and you can see he's got the attention of all 4 blue jerseys around him. The guy, we talk about him, we rant and we rave about him, but when he has the puck on his stick, I'm not sure that I've seen a guy in this league in a long time that commands the puck the way that he does. Completely under control, no panic, he has no haste in his game when he has the puck on his stick.
Kolazar to the bench, wants a new stick. Barzell was the Western Hockey League's #1 overall pick in the 2012 Bantam Draft. Product of the Burnaby Winter Club, he led that Bantam team to the Western Canadian Championship. 2 World Juniors, 2 World Under-18s, time in the NHL already. That's why we have a lot of nice things to say. Great future. Pats battle for possession. It's Wagner. Slobozhin tries to lean on the opposition 13 Barzell, and Strand makes a calm, cool play to Tishkin. Jared Tishkin off the stick of Zabrowski, finds drop, intercepted. Here comes Slobozhin. Pat's looking for an odd man rush. Lochner, Robbie Holmes, he scores! Robbie Holmes with a laser beam to the short side, and the Pats have a 3-2 lead.
Well, Holmes gets his 3rd of the postseason. He only had 2 in 54 games in the regular season, and this starts in the defensive zone. Look at that, 3 forwards collapse, create the turnover, and boy, do they get their toes heading north quick, don't they? The puck goes wide, a drive to the net, gets the attention of the defender, and there's the distribution from Lochner. Head up, Holmes finds that top corner. Boy, oh boy, I'm not sure you can fault Stankowski for that. That puck is put exactly where Holmes wants it. There's a great angle, off the bar and in. 3-2 the Pats.
And a huge goal, and it comes from behind win over Lethbridge in game number 6. And as his 3rd of the spring, the 17-year-old from Sherwood Park, who last year at this time was thinking more about baseball than he was hockey. He was part of the Canadian National Junior Team program. Jonathan Smart behind the net towards the aforementioned Holmes. DeWitt and Buziak joining him. Lochner draws one of the assists. The 16-year-old from Windsor, Colorado, as Hobbs sends it in. Wrist shot by Wagner, and this time Stankowski handles it on the short side. Slobozhin with the other helper.
Well, took another look at this goal here, and you look at the angle, and Stankowski goes down maybe just a tad bit early, and he's not sealed to that post regardless or not. That shot's off the post and into that top corner, and I'll tell you, I'm chuckling because my partner to the left of me is joining the crowd in hand clapping, but a nice shot off the post and in, and Stankowski has let 3 in here in the first half of this game.
What can I tell you? It's my son's favorite song. He loves the hand clap.
Well, and how do you not participate? This building is electric.
Fabulous crowd here in Ken, Washington. Wagner in behind Slobozhin, and the return pass broken up. Niles, Volkin did everything to stay on side, which he did, but the reason for the stoppage, it was knocked down with a high stick.
Well, a time to settle for the T-Birds, down a goal, but they've done a heck of a lot of things well. We've seen the effort that they've shown on the penalty kill. They've been effective with 1 power play goal, and this is a group that really doesn't show a whole lot of panic. We talk about the poise. We were on the charter plane, and one thing I noticed with this team, when they walked onto the plane, respectful but sure of themselves. You can feel a little bit of a sense of swagger, and that's probably what you get from a team that's been to the league final for 2 consecutive years, and this is a team that has a high level of belief in themselves.
Won their first 9 straight playoff games before losing game 2 in the Western Conference Championship Series to the Kelowna Rockets, a set they eventually went on to win in 6 games, and that was a fabulous affair, according to anyone that I have chatted with that watched it. Keegan Kolazar was an important part of that series and has been leading the way with 23 postseason points. Missed game 1 due to a suspension that he picked up in game 6. Do we have another penalty? Or are they just going to check the time? They're just going to check the time.
When you talk about Kolasar and the points and the production that he's put up, remember in round 1 against Tri-Cities, there was no Barzell and no Gropp, and to me, Kolasar really put the team on his back, stepped up his game when he needed to be, and he's been a horse for this team.
3 goals in the series versus Kelowna, including 2 in a very important Game 3 triumph, where he and the goalie were the stars. Kolasar, a toe drag, stays with it, wrist shot, good stop by Brown. Gropp was providing some net front presence. Ottenbright over top of the net. He scored in Game 2. Here comes Sam Steele, the league's most valuable player, or certainly player of the year. Tug, but manages the one-handed shoulder. Tipped by Liedall into the corner. Back to the line now for Hobbs. He sends it off the foot of Barzell. Pats with a little bit of pressure, looking to add to this 3-2 advantage. The series is even at 1. Backhander nearly surprised Stankowski by Steele. And it's Moyalinen who banks it off the boards and out to relieve some of that Pat pressure.
Tell you one thing I've been really impressed with Barzell. We talk about his puck prowess all the time, but blocking shots, he's blocked a number of them in this series alone.
His two-way game has come a long way even in a year. You talk to the coaching staff, they really felt like his whole overall game, his approach changed after he returned from the World Junior.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, he went into that tournament as the 13th forward. He came out of it as a key player. He had 8 points in 7 games. And I agree, that experience with the 2 games with the New York Islanders at the beginning of the year this year certainly must have spurred him on, recognizes the things that it takes to get to the next level, and you can bet your bottom dollar there's nothing more important to him aside from a league championship than to take the step to the next level. He's hungry to be a pro.
Looks like he's shaking off that last shot that he blocked. As Buziak set to take the draw to the right of Stankowski. Robbie Holmes, 3rd of the postseason, has the Pats in front. Strand collides with Wagner. He packs a punch, the 16-year-old, at 200 pounds, maybe a little more. Like running into a fire hydrant.
From Windsor, Colorado, he was a 3rd-round pick. He was a state champion for the U16 Thunderbirds in Colorado last year.
Brown a little deep in his net as True goes in search of his second of the night. And from True to Stu.
Thank you very much, Peter. Yeah, you guys are talking about Matthew Barzell and how professional he came to start this season after being an Islander as well. We all spoke to the Pats coaching staff yesterday. They said he was a phenomenal talent and said that he's the most dynamic player that they have seen in quite some time. John Paddock said the closest comparable he could think of that he saw on a regular basis was Braden Point back with Moose Jaw. Of course, he's gone on to a great season with the Tampa Bay Lightning, but his similar shiftiness and playmaking ability. He also said that he's very happy his top 3 defensemen had a lot of games played against Braden Point because he's a similar player. They want to keep Barzell out to the outside to contain him tonight.
Braden Point representing Canada right now at the World Hockey Championships in Paris. I'm not sure Brown saw the Ottenbright shot, but he was able to keep it out.
He didn't see it because Kolasar was all over the top of the crease.
Steele with a lateral cut. Now he'll shoot it, steered away confidently by Stankowski. Shots on goal 15 to now, I believe, 14 in favor of the home side.
Well, what do you want out of your big power forwards? You want net front presence, among other things. There's the puck from low to high, the one-timer low. That's the key on net, and a great job by Kolasar. Heels on the top of the crease, screening Brown, and Brown is forced to make a positional save as he can't see the puck coming.
Sam Steele, 131 regular season points to lead all Western Hockey Leaguers. Entered the eve with 27, assisted on the game's first goal by Hobbs, who drills it low and hard.
Can he send that puck?
Wow. A sizzler off the stick of Hobbs, who has his 6th in the playoffs tonight. Keeps it in, intercepted. Volkin to answer. Scott answer. Curling. Trying to get away from the Hurra. spinning. Finds Ottenbright, lots of traffic in front, and that hit a body and goes out of play.
Well, we've got Gropp on the line here with Enzer and Volkin, but these guys do so many things well. We saw the example of Enzer on the penalty kill. How about the transition? They're from defense to offense in a half of a second. They get the puck, and boy, they waste no time getting up the ice. And then you see Enzer, as he does so well, low center of gravity, protect the puck. But it's the transition from defense to offense that allows them to have opportunity 200 feet away from their goaltender.
Enzer with 38 points in only 40 regular season games. The Thunderbirds had a pile of injuries and have almost all season long, and he has 9 points so far in the playoffs. Slobozhin slow to get up after taking a hit following the faceoff. Here's Volkin, blocked again by Scholler, who's in the shooting lane. Gropp backhands it, but off the back of the net. Answer. Gropp finds Tishka, and Brown, through traffic, hangs on.
Well, you can see Scott Enzer jousting at the net, and as many things as he does, you need in the postseason a guy that leads with his heart, and this is what he has done here in Seattle for the past few years. He's a guy that was listed, he's out of Colorado, a U.S.-born player from Englewood, and a guy that alternates the C on his jersey with Matt Barzell every other game. You need a penalty killer, you got it. You need a guy net front on the power play, you got it. You need a guy to be physical and coming out of the puck, out of the pile with the puck. That's him as well. He does so many different things, and again, you have to have a guy or two like that on your lineup, on your third line, in your depth, if you want to have a chance to win a championship.
Enzer participating in his 50th career postseason game tonight. A member of the United States World Junior Team in 2016. In his second straight league final. Ottenbright shovels it towards Barzell against Steele and company. Ottenbright knocked down Wagner, and Wagner's dragging his shoulder. Didn't look to be a really hard hit. Back comes Barzell, weaving, just fired it wide. Remember, Wagner was injured in the Lethbridge series and missed game 4. That did not look good, and in the same type of area.
That didn't look good, this didn't look good.
Bear, his pass for Niles, one hands it, Barzell. Ottenbright fans on a slap shot. Steve Konowalchuk has mixed things up a little bit with Niles and Barzell and Kolazar, and Gropp was on that last shift playing on the Enzer line. The Pats are leading, courtesy of Robbie Holmes. We'll keep an eye on Austin Wagner, though, who's been shaken up in the second.
Before and after the game, Tony Roma's offers casual family dining. Tony Roma's, a family destination, legendary ribs, and famous for so much more.
Welcome to Select Fluid Power, home of our brand new state-of-the-art cylinder repair and hard chrome plating facility. With a fully equipped hydraulic cylinder repair shop, Select Fluid Power is your one-stop cylinder repair shop. Open 7 days a week, serving Western Canada.
Hi folks, Don Taylor here. Need a lift? At Levitt Machinery, they sell, rent, lease, and service machinery for your material handling needs. And they offer certified training. Stack it, reach it, lift it. Levitt.
With Pat's head coach John Paddock. And John, how pleased with your team's road effort so far in a hostile territory?
Yeah, I think it's been a pretty solid game by just about everybody. The same for the Thunderbirds. I think it's just like the series has been.
What's been clicking on your power play? What's made it effective? The 2 goals in the first period and 4 for the series.
Well, you know, we got good personnel. They can adjust to things. I think Seattle's done a real good job after the first 2 goals in the third period there. So, you know, it's about making adjustments with good players.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Guys.
Game 3, round 3, Wagner took a hit similar to this, and he missed game 4, and look at him go off the ice. His arm looks like it's an orange hanging out of a sock. He doesn't look like he's comfortable at all. To boot, he takes another one on the way. Look at that. That doesn't look good. Here's a guy that is playing through pain. We got a shot of him on the bench. There's another look at it. He doesn't look comfortable, but he's a warrior, and we'll see if he comes back again.
They're already without the second highest scorer in the league in Adam Brooks, who suffered an injury, and he's in utter dismay.
That depicts character right there. There's a guy that's not looking to go to the locker room. All he's looking to do is recover, play through some pain, and be a part of the solution. That's not easy to do. You got a shoulder injury, everything and every bump you can feel.
And I think he's been dealing with it for quite some time. That's what the playoffs are about, as Kolazar takes a run at Wagner. Bear has an assist in the game, tied in a knot by Sam Steele. And look who's back out. It's Wagner, and through a hit. Hobbs to Wagner. Behind the net, Liedall parked in front. Bright all over Sam Steele, and now Barzell tries to scoot away from Liedall and plays it out to center. Liedall lets it go. The 21-year-old from Saskatoon. Donovan Niles in front, Kolazar, and Brown makes the save.
Well, a shift after we see Wagner limp off of the ice with his arm dangling off of his shoulder. We talk about character. You want to know what that looks like? Looks like that. We talk about the battle between those guys. That's Wagner stepping in and taking Ottenbreit right off of his feet and 200 feet away. A little in tight 2-on-1, a pass. It just gets out of the reach of Kolazar with an in tight chance.
So True's line comes out against Tyler Brown and the Pats. Slobosian with Henry and Philip Ball. Steve Konowalchuk making changes to his top line, and Adams throws a large hit in the corner. Boy, I've liked him in this series. Tyler Adams came over in a trade earlier this season from Swift Current, as All dangles in and drives the net, and I think All's going to be penalized for making contact with a goaltender. All, the fourth-round pick of the Ottawa Senators. That's one of his most impressive rushes of the playoffs.
6'4", 225. I'm not sure he used his frame as efficiently in Game 1 as he has in Game 2, and I know he hasn't like he has here in Game 3. I've noticed him a lot.
So Seattle now about to enjoy their third power play, and a penalty upcoming to Swedish World Junior member Philip Ball.
Watch, and what you want from your power forward is your toes to go to the paint right here. Rather than go behind the net, go to the front, and he does a real good job. But because he makes contact, he drags that back right leg. There's the goaltender interference. You got to protect the goaltenders, and this is one of those penalties where you just rely on your teammates to kill, because you can't call it a bad penalty. You got to go to the net. You got to go to the net hard. That's what All does. Just a little bit too much.
John Paddock, former Western Hockey League player himself, to go along with his decades in coaching and management.
WHL Coach of the Year, WHL Executive of the Year, 52 wins, 112 points. Both are the best in their record, or in their franchise history. What a job he's done.
Seattle on the power play, and as per usual, Barzell with a puck to Bear. Kolazar, True in front, Bear, kicked out by Brown, cleared by Wyatt Slobosian.
Really nice job. Brown makes the save. There's a rebound, but I thought that was Hobbs that collapsed. He got in the way to buy time for Slobosian to send it.
The neutral zone drop. Barzell to Kolazar. Finds Ethan Bear to Ryan Grock. Bear. Barzell behind his back, and Wagner in the passing lane off his skates and out to center.
Boy, you got to be patient if you're killing penalties against Seattle, and that's exactly what these four guys are. Patient, they let the puck come to them, and they pounce when they see an opportunity. Good job up ice by Wagner.
Wagner looks to be fine. It certainly didn't appear that it was going to be, and now he's dragging it again. Barzell spinning against Hobbs. Turns and twists the other way. Boy, this guy's like a whirling dervish. Down low, Kolizar just flipped it wide. Barzell to the line, and Tishka, the Calgary product. For Barzell. Back to Tishka. Finds Strand. Through the seam to Barzell. He shoots it. Tishka. Time winding down on the penalty. It's expired. All back on the ice. Strand, Barzell. He'll shoot it. Brown makes the save on the short side, and the Pats able to kill off the Thunderbirds power play.
Something I haven't heard you say very much throughout the course of this series is Barzell shoots it. He's a pass first, shoot second type of a guy, but there we see how great of a skater he is, a puck possession guy, and he takes a shot. And I think the last thing that Brown is expecting is to see Barzell shoot the puck on net. Not very often he sees it coming at him from his stick, but look again there. He's got guys chasing him, and that's where you want him, on the outside. Delivers it to Kolizar, who backs into the crease. We've seen that pattern a few times tonight, and that has been the adjustment from the first two games to the third.
Barzell with one assist to extend his playoff point streak. Good kick save by Brown off Ottenbright. And the puck is shot into the bench, and the faceoff will come back inside the Regina line. A 3-2 lead. The series is even at 1. Both games played in Regina, decided in overtime. 1 year ago in the league final between Brandon and Seattle, the first 3 games required extra time, and Brandon won all of them on their way to the championship in 5 games.
And there you see an uncomfortable Austin Wagner. What that does for a team when you see a guy that's hurt that way go back out and compete at the level that he is, it does a couple of things. Number one, it keeps one of your best players involved in the game, which is huge, but also, too, it raises the level of everybody else's game. When they look and see a guy like that that has a wing hanging off of him that can play the way he is, you know that everybody else is saying to themselves, he can do it, I can do it.
Face-off win for the Pats. Seattle dominated, according to our count. Our terrific executive producer, also statistician, Grant Wilkins, had Seattle winning 63% of the face-offs in the opening period. And a broken stick that causes Donovan Niles to kick it, and he did so effectively to Tishka. Good play by Niles. From Grenfell, Saskatchewan, and boy has he been impressive the last 2 playoffs. Seems to relish this time of year. Moyalinen behind the net with help from Niles. Pats win that battle, and Henry wants an outlet and makes it doozy to Braden Buziak, who shovels it in and gives chase against Austin Strand. Strand goes down to the ice, so does Volkin. Pat's able to control it. Here's Harrison, who has a goal. Blockered away by Stankowski. Stankowski doesn't fit today's model. He's just 5'9".
Talked to Russ Farwell, the general manager of the Seattle Thunderbirds, before game 1 in Regina, and he says they were surprised. His dad is about 6'3". He's a big man. They're waiting to see if Stankowski, Carl, is going to grow, but doesn't seem to be a factor as he has been dominating at times here through the course of these playoffs.
Wedman, a rare shift for him. Volkin steals. True, a quality chance, and he wristed it wide, looking for his second of the night. Remember, in game 4 of last year's league final, he had 2 goals and an assist. Here's Wagner, puts on the brakes, waiting for reinforcements. Instead, turns, shoots it. And Stankowski the save.
There's so little real estate for free out on the ice. Anytime you bobble the puck, put the puck in an area that's unsafe, often you're going to pay for it, at least with a chance against it. That's what happens here from Regina. They have puck possession there, and they lose it. A nice job by Volkin getting onto that puck, and he puts Alexander True in a pretty good position to get his second goal and third of the series.
The song in the background kind of tells it all in this series. don't believe us, just watch.
Pete brought his dancing shoes tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I can't keep them still here to my left. Hopefully the waltz doesn't come off.
Can't dance, too fat to fly. Steele a face-off win. Mahura blocked by Keegan Kolazar and Ottenbright from Yorkton, Saskatchewan. Moylinen. Kolazar in the cross-corner shoot-in. Moylinen first to it. He has a goal tonight, his first of the series. Out there with Barzell and Kolazar. Off his skate. Now he and Hobbs in quite a tussle, and Hobbs wins the battle. And if you're the Washington Capitals, you like to see that. Those are the kind of battles he'll have to win at the next level to be there. Wagner, an outlet for Dawson Liedall. Skates to center. Here comes Ottenbright. Always have to be aware when number 4 is on the ice for the Thunderbirds. Kolazar, time and space taken away effectively. Regina's done a pretty good job, Kevin, in the neutral zone.
They've done a real good job filling lanes, and they battled to stay on the D side of the puck.
Adams ripped it wide. Looking for his second in as many games. Hyman pressured by Philip Ball. Tishka up the boards. Hensler overskates it, and there's Zabrowski in the neutral zone, sending Seattle back in. 2:20 to go in period number 2. Another ring-a-ding-dong dandy in game 3. We wouldn't have it any other way. Hensler in a battle with Henry and knocked out of the air by Slobozhin to center. Seattle clears the zone, and now Henry with a little room to operate misses his man. Holmes is going to try and negate the icing, and does with his fine speed. He has the go-ahead goal in the second period. Robbie Holmes protects it well with that 6'3" frame. Back to the line, and it's Mahura who kept it in for a second before Adams, who's been out there for a long time, played it out.
Based on the way Robbie Holmes has played in this series and through the playoffs, you'd never guess he'd be an 11th round draft pick to the Regina Pats. He has been excellent.
Matthew Wedman throwing his weight around. Then he's dumped as Reese Hart from Grand Prairie, Alberta, back to retrieve it. Strand fans and finds True. Lays it off for Harsh. Steele watching him closely. Liedall trying to keep it in. Zabrowski pounds it, but not as deep as he would have liked, as we're into the final minute of period 2. Hobbs and Moylinen. Wedman to support the puck. Rolls up the boards. Wagner attempts to clear it. Now wants the puck in turn, and Liedall first to it on right wing. To Austin Wagner. Backhand pass from the end boards. Gobbled up by Harrison, who scored his first goal since January 21st in Swift Current in the first period on the power play.
So it seems every time there's a whistle, you're going to see number 4 White right in the mix. He's a guy that we talk about all the time, playing so physical and in your face, but he's another guy that takes the opportunity if he gets it within the rules of the game, because he doesn't put his team short very often. But boy, he's an agitator. He'll get in your face. And he just simply, he wants to make the other team uncomfortable in all 3 zones of the ice. He does a heck of a job of that.
Barzell's line. Now it's with Niles and Kolazar. Drop Barzell and Kolazar. We showed you the graphic in game number 2 about their incredible point production down the stretch. But in this game, Ryan Drop has been taken off that line.
I think it's an effort to get him going. Molynen has been a good guy, or he's been at a high level here in the playoffs. He hasn't got a goal either, so perhaps just an adjustment from Connor Walchuk to see if he can spark something from both of those guys on new lines.
Donovan Niles has 7 playoff goals, including the overtime winner in Game 1 in Regina as Henry rims it behind the net. All and Bear will collide. Bear clears it. The buzzer goes. And after 4 first period goals, Robbie Holmes beats Carl Stankowski, the rookie netminder, with the only tally of period number 2, and the Pats enjoy a 1-goal lead, making their way to the dressing room.
Well, you talk about the depth in the third line for Seattle, Volkan, Enzor, and Niles, and they're so effective, but the depth for Regina, their third line, Buziak, Holmes, and Lochner, who used to be their fourth line, they've stepped up in the absence of a couple of key players. Lecision isn't there anymore. DeWitt hasn't been getting ice time, and they have been spectacular on the body. Physical and a big entry and a nice shot for the second period's only goal from Robbie Holmes.
Our Stu Walters with Keegan Kolazar.
Yes, thank you very much, Peter. The Thunderbirds leading scorer through the playoffs thus far. And Keegan, what have you seen on home ice here through 40 minutes of this game?
It's definitely a fast-paced game here, just like in games 1 and 2. Special teams are a huge battle in this one. You look at their goals. 2 of them are power play, 1 for us on power play. So I think the special teams battle is the biggest thing.
How key is the fine line between aggression and discipline here?
It's very big. There's a lot of penalties here that are borderline, and some of them are pretty over the top. And right now for us, it's about staying even keel and making sure we take care of our own business.
Game 3 of this series, how much emotion, how much dislike is creeping into this one?
There's a lot. I mean, for a team that you only play once a year, there's a lot of intensity out here, and there's a lot of hard battles.
What has allowed you to elevate your game at this time of season, Keegan?
I mean, you're playing for a championship right here, and then from here you go to the Memorial Cup, and not many people can say in their lifetime that they've played in a Memorial Cup or even won a championship.
Take pride in leading the team in scoring here?
Yeah, I think I'm a pretty big playoff player. I like to compete hard in the playoffs especially, and I want to win. This is to come back in the championship after last year. It's huge, and we want to correct it.
What kind of chemistry do you have, and what's it like playing with Matthew Barzell at center?
Yeah, it's awesome playing with a player of his caliber. I've been here since 16 with him. We both got drafted the same year, and built up a good friendship. We room on the road together, and he's a lot of fun to be around.
All right, Keegan, thanks very much for this. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, second period intermission coming up after 40 minutes here. Game 3 of the WHL Championship Series on Shaw. Stay with us.
And he can lift anything at all. He's that strong.
Joe Schuster, will you stop or you'll miss your train? Now help me find number 5.
Strong, but by day he's a mild-mannered reporter. Glasses, a secret identity.
Honestly, you Canadian kids.
He'd be in this cape.
A what?
A cape. Wearing these blue tights.
A hero in tights, really. Here it is.
Listen, Lois, this guy is faster than anything, I swear.
If you're not fast, you're gonna miss your train.
That's it. A bullet. He's faster. No, he's faster than a speeding bullet.
Come on, get on it. No one's gonna read a comic strip about a strong man in tights, Joe. It'll never fly.
Fly, no. But he can leap over tall buildings. Oh, wow, yeah.
See what your cousin Frank says in Toronto.
Wait, Lois. I've got something for you. Here, take it. It's a gift. You never know. It might be worth something someday. Is he great or what? Bye-bye, Lois.
Christmas Day, I'm gonna ask Steffi to marry me. And I'd really like your blessing. Yeah. No. Look, just give me a couple days to win you over. By Christmas morning, you're gonna be calling me son. I'm gonna be calling you dad.
Don't think that's gonna happen.
I think it's gonna, Dad.
I know it won't.
Dad, it will.
Stop that.
What, Dad?
That, stop that.
Dad, what are you talking about?
Yes, sir.
Steph, you could be dating anyone. Why Laird?
He makes me really happy.
Bob Dale Gloves WHL Central is brought to you by Bob Dale Gloves. Found online at bobdalegloves.com.
The ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington, a 3-2 lead for the Regina Pats through 40 minutes of play of Game 3 of the WHL Championship. Welcome back to Bob Dale Gloves WHL Central alongside Joey Kenward and Robbie Holmes, the difference maker so far, his third of the postseason to give the Pats the 1-goal lead.
Robbie Holmes is one of these key depth players that the Pats have relied on through 3+ rounds to play a very important yet probably not such a highlight reel role for the club, getting into their first WHL final appearance in quite some time. This is his third goal of these playoffs. He's a 17-year-old rookie, folks, who over the course of the regular season scored only twice. And he's an 11th round WHL Bantam draft pick to boot. And I'll tell you what, no matter who's coming out of this series to represent the WHL at the MasterCard Memorial Cup in Windsor in a couple of weeks, they've got key players that they rely on offensively that are stars in this league, but there's also that supporting cast, one or two names that really seem to come to the forefront in big moments, and Robbie Holmes has just done that tonight for Regina here at the ShoWare Center.
Great shot for the 17-year-old from Sherwood Park. Austin Wagner, remember in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Championship, he had a diving for the puck, and his shoulder, it seemed like, was the problem. He missed Game 3, came back in Game 4, and it was probably a big scare on the Regina bench when they saw him go back to the bench after a hit in the second period.
Didn't look good at all, and for Austin Wagner, who's one of the fastest players in the Canadian Hockey League, there's his collision with Turner Ottenbright, and he didn't look in good shape at all, but obviously got a little bit of a pep talk and a little bit of reinforcements from his teammates, and then he comes right back into the action and throws a pretty good body check on Turner Ottenbright and was even able to create a little bit more, but you could see him wincing in pain. This is playoff hockey, and he's shown that the LA Kings are a team that believes that he's got the capabilities of one day being a professional hockey player sometime in their organization, and this playoff experience and showing the heart already to get his team this far and playing through pain, obviously, it shows that there's a lot of fire in that belly here on the road for the Pats.
Matthew Barzell, what about him? And he looks like, again, a magician with the puck tonight.
You know, there are so many of our viewers tonight that watch the games in Regina live in person at the Brandt Center that didn't have a chance to see Matthew Barzell since last year, because when the T-Birds came into Regina way back at the end of October, Barzell was still up in the National Hockey League with the New York Islanders. Since he has returned, he has been a consummate pro at the junior level. And that says a lot about a guy who probably was disappointed that he saw temporarily his childhood dream come true, starting in the NHL. Sure, you want to stay there, but he was sent back, obviously played very well for Canada at the World Junior Hockey Championships, was one of their best performers in a silver medal winning performance, and then he comes back here to the Western Hockey League and really, I think, has taken it upon himself, and we chatted with Steve Konowalchuk throughout the first couple of games of these playoffs in the WHL final, that he's really matured as a player. And that says a lot for a guy that maybe if he had played a full season in this league, he probably could have been not only the WHL's leading scorer, but the player of the year in the Western Hockey League. And he's already got an assist tonight. He's extended his point scoring streak, and when he's on the puck, you just sometimes have to go, wow, this is one of the best playmaking players in junior hockey right now, and fans in Seattle have seen this up close and in person for many years.
I'm not sure if fans have noticed this, but for many north of the border, first time seeing Seattle for much of this season, but Matt Barzell wearing the C tonight. Scott Einzer was wearing it in Game 2. They alternate, and Einzer's been really flying too as well.
Boy, has he ever, and a player that had represented his country on the international stage. Einzer played for the United States at the World Junior Championships 2 years ago. He's been buzzing on the ice, and he single-handedly, in a very key moment in this hockey game, took matters into his own hands on an unbelievable penalty kill shift early on in that second period when it had carried over from the first and kept the Pats hemmed in their own zone, pretty much behind their own goal line. And I've never seen that in hockey, and we were talking off the air. I can't remember. I'm sure you have captains and alternates, but one game a guy wears the C, the next game a teammate has that C on the front of his jersey, and hey, it's obviously working for the Thunderbirds. They're going after their first ever WHL championship in 40 years as a franchise, and they've got leadership around that locker room, not just the guys that wear the C, but Barzell and Einzer have done an admirable job in leading this team whenever they've got that C on the jersey.
You know, so much talk going into Game 3 tonight. Seattle had the best home ice record with 27 wins, but Regina won the most on the road with 28. Is there anything that you're noticing from them this evening that's allowed them to be up 3-2? Tyler Brown's been terrific again tonight in goal, but Regina on the road, it seems like they're A-OK there.
Nothing really has surprised me with what these two teams have done through 40 minutes of play. It's been a very close hockey game. Sure, an extra goal in the power play has helped Regina to get into the lead on obviously a goal by an unlikely source. was able to give them the 1-goal advantage here into the third period. But I think if you're a Pats fan watching from Saskatchewan tonight, what you're seeing out of the visiting team tonight is probably what they've seen most nights. And if you're a fan here in this building for the Thunderbirds or watching tonight here in the Puget Sound area, this is the way the T-Birds have played for much of this season here in their own digs. Lots of hockey. Lots of hockey. And I'm guaranteeing you probably there's more than 20 minutes left in this hockey game. But it's a pickup, and I'm not surprised considering the first 2 games were a coin toss in Regina last weekend.
Each of the last few years of Brandon Weekings in the championship, it's been a 2-3-2. We haven't gotten back to a Game 6, but everybody expects this one to be returning to Regina.
And you know what? Both teams have won in overtime, and I think they've used that as a building block here as this series has moved along. For Seattle, we talked about it in case you didn't watch the first 2 games in Regina. Seattle had lost 3 of their 4 games in overtime last year in the league finale against Brandon. You get that first game won in overtime on the opening shift, that puts all those demons away. Now if you're Regina, who had only won 1 playoff game this postseason, you didn't want to come here into this atmosphere down 2 bagel. They get that all-important win at home in overtime, knowing that it's going to sometimes take extra hockey to beat the team on the other side of the red line. So I think both teams in this 2-3-2 format are pretty comfortable where they're sitting right now.
Well, it was a week ago yesterday when the WHL Awards Banquet took place, and a week prior to that, not quite, the Kootenay Ice sale actually happened, where the WHL Board of Governors voted unanimously to give the franchise, or move the franchise over. Greg Fettis, the owner, and Matt Cockle, the president and general manager as well. 45 years of the Chanel family involved with the Western Hockey League. They've been terrific to deal with as well. But now they move on in Kootenay, and last Wednesday I had a chance to chat with the new president and GM of the Kootenay Ice, Matt Cockle. Well, Matt, everything was put into place Thursday with the Board of Governors vote, and now president and general manager of the Kootenay Ice. What's the transition been like so far?
So we've been jumping right in. We're really excited. We got a lot of work ahead of us, but it's fun work, and we've had some tremendous conversations already with a number of the folks in the community, and they're really excited to engage, and we're looking forward to hearing more of their ideas.
What was the attraction for Greg Fettis and yourself to be involved and take over the ownership of the team?
Greg's got a huge passion as it relates to development, player experience, and youth hockey in general. So I think he's very excited in terms of being able to give back. I've been a part of the Western Hockey League as a player, as a coach, working for some great organizations, and I think it's the greatest junior hockey league and player development league in the world. And to have a chance to have a meaningful role in that is something that I'm very excited about.
The Kootenay Ice franchise has been one that's struggled over the last few years. What are some of the things you hope to do to bring it back to where it once was, where it was getting big crowds in their home rink?
Yeah, I think, with anything, when you're kind of looking at an opportunity to move things forward, it's never just one thing. So like I said, we've had a really great opportunity the last couple of days to get into the community and listen to some folks, and they're very passionate. They love the ice, and we have a wide geography that we're fortunate that we can engage as well. So we're going to take some time to listen, and out of that we expect to get a lot of great ideas, and then it's our job to follow through. And we think our position is this is really their team. It's a great community team. It's got a great history, and we're looking for a way to find different touch points for everybody to participate, and we want to put a great product on the ice, and we're going to work hard to do that too.
At the awards ceremony, the Regina Pats and Prince George Cougars both went through ownership change 3 years ago, and now they're both up for the Business Award. Is there anything have you talked to those franchisers, or just see what kind of transition they went through to maybe give you some examples of what you might need to do?
So we've been really fortunate. We've had some great support. Both owner governors of both those organizations and others in the Western Hockey League have reached out to offer any advice, assistance, and we're all ears. We had an opportunity recently with Stacey Cattell of the Regina Pats, the COO, to kind of get a behind-the-scenes look in terms of how they've looked at their fan experience and player experience, and we're really excited to make this our own, but at the same time there's a lot of great ideas that we can draw from.
Now, as the general manager side of things, you're looking over the hockey operations, and this is a team that missed the playoffs each of the last 2 years. What are you hoping to build from the group that's there and with the second overall Bantam pick this year?
Sure. So we're really excited about the draft. I've had a chance with our staff over the last 4 weeks to kind of get familiar with some of the players. They've done a lot of great work. We've done our homework. We got a great we think list put together in terms of folks that we're excited about. So we'll see how the draft unfolds, and with it being my first time participating, of course, has a little bit of extra meaning. As it relates to our team and where we're headed, we're fortunate we have our hockey operations staff, including Garnet, our head scout, as well as our head coach and assistant coaches under contract for this year. So we're in a really good place there. And we'll take this year to kind of see where we're at. You know, culture for me and Greg is a really big thing, and we want to take some time to understand what that culture will be moving forward. We want to put our stamp on it, and then from there we'll move forward with decisions based on that.
Well, congratulations on the sale of the team and taking over as president and GM. All the best, man.
Thank you very much.
A big thanks to Matt Cockle for joining us at the WHL Awards. The third period is on the way from Kent, Washington, and 3-2 Pats lead here on Shaw, Access, and this TV.
Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Catch the NHL stars of tomorrow today. The road to WHL Championship glory ends here when the Regina Pats battle the Seattle Thunderbirds for the right to be crowned Ed Chanel Cup champions. For complete playoff broadcast information, visit shawtv.ca or whl.ca.
Hi, I'm Don Taylor here at Levitt Machinery, inviting you to watch Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw.
Before and after the game, Tony Roma's offers casual family dining. Tony Roma's, a family destination, legendary ribs, and famous for so much more.
Christmas Day, I'm gonna ask Steffi to marry me, and I'd really like your blessing. Yeah. No. Look, just give me a couple days to win you over. By Christmas morning, you're gonna be calling me son. I'm gonna be calling you dad.
Don't think that's gonna happen.
I think it's gonna, Dad.
I know it won't.
Dad, it will.
Stop that.
What, Dad?
That, stop that.
Dad, what are you talking about?
Yes, sir, Steph, you could be dating anyone. Why Laird?
He makes me really happy.
Got me into a pro camp after 17 and draft after 18, and you don't see that, I don't think, if I would have been in junior A. I have almost 130 games, and I think with 4 years, even in the NCAA, you're not going to get that much, so it's been great for me.
Who is Bert?
My role model.
I'm just an ordinary citizen.
I can't tell Jenna what it's like to live with an artificial leg, but Bert can. Bert can say, I understand. Bert has taught her plenty about Canada's military heritage. He has also taught her about being an amputee and about being a good person. He lays a wreath every year for the war ants.
We have a bond, and to have her with me up there laying the wreath, it means quite a bit.
How do you thank a hero?
The Regina Pats are 8-1 overtime loss when they lead in the playoffs going into the third. Kevin, I think one thing is stayed consistent. Both teams selling it all, leaving it all out there again tonight, which has been the case the whole series.
We've seen relentless pressure and effort from both sides. And how about this for setting the tone? This is on the penalty kill. The co-captain, Scott Enzer, he sheds his mitts and he puts his bobtail gloves on and goes to work. Everybody's on their feet, his teammates, the crowd, and this type of energy is truly contagious. I mean, he really killed about 30 to 40 seconds, a one-man show, and he is so dog-tired. Look at him barely get off the ice, but that's what he does for your team. Look at Barzell. We talk about his 200-foot game. He's been working hard to get in the lanes, kipping pucks and blocking shots. And check this out on the forecheck from the Regina Pats. Look at the shot from All. The puck hits the post. Had the net not come off the back, maybe that's a goal. That's a great placed shot by All. And then how about Wagner? Perhaps the most courageous effort throughout the second period, playing hurt. Look at the skill, puck retrieval. This guy's got speed, he's got skill, and he's got heart. And this is where the only goal of the second period starts off the forecheck. Look at the puck support from Lochner. He distributes it to Robbie Holmes, who gets his third of the playoffs. This is a goal scorer's goal, off the post and in. He had 2 all regular season. That's a big one that puts his team up 3-2 heading into the third.
Robbie Holmes from Sherwood Park, from Brian Wagner and Wyatt Slobosian, who has been a very key contributor to the Pats. Draw the assists, and period number 3 of Game 3 is underway. The series is tied at 1.
Levitt Machinery is a proud sponsor of WHL on Shaw. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Oh, we always talk about Connor Walchuk and his intensity. He's a passionate coach and a guy that really has a lot of energy and practices on the bench. I think his team feeds off of it, and I'm really impressed with the adjustments that he's made coming into Game 3 after some things on specialty teams that maybe didn't go the way he wanted in the first 2 games in Regina. Both coaches making adjustments, and they both proved to be effective in their own ways.
15 seconds in, back-to-back icing calls for the former Western Hockey Leaguer himself.
Connor
Walchuk.
790 games played, so repeat, in the National Hockey League. 2 years assistant coach with the Colorado Avalanche. 1991, 104 points for the Portland Winterhawks. Player of the Year in the Western Hockey League that year.
Puck played by Ottenbright, past Nolan Volkin. Cleared out by Hobbs and then sent in by Enser, but he hit his own man, Nolan Volkin. And Enser having words with several at the Regina Pats bench, and this guy is no fun to play against.
Oh, it is, and he's a guy that you know that you can feel the respect factor, obviously, that he gets from his own teammates, but even right there, he's standing in front of the bench of the Regina Pats, and no one's chirping him, and you know that he's got the respect from people around the league. When you work as hard as this guy does night in, night out, every shift you're on the ice, it's hard not to respect him.
So as was the case, the Kolazar drop Barzell combination broken up. Donovan Niles starts there in the third. Here's Steele after it, and Stankowski almost mishandled it with the Pats' leading point getter on the doorstep. Steele is now tied for the Western Hockey League scoring lead with 28 points after an assist in the first.
First in the Western League in the postseason with 18 assists coming into tonight. 2 goals on the power play, 6 power play assists, and a shorthanded goal as well.
Steele with a great start to the postseason against Calgary in a 4-game sweep. He had 10 points in that series. Chase Harrison has a goal tonight, fired it wide. Steele with lead all, and Wagner, who was shaken up in the second, but okay to start the third. I don't know what kind of Advil they gave him when he was hurt, but get me a bottle.
All heart. No
Here
doubt.
he is, a wraparound try, and he had space. My bet is that he leads all Pats in shots on goal in this game. Of the 19 they have, here's Barzell, wheeling, dropping, Niles, headed stick lifted. Barzell relays it, Kolazar blocking that is lead all. He went to one knee to do so. Seattle looks for an equalizer early in period 3 of game 3. Set all even at 1 apiece. We'll play games 4 tomorrow and 5 Friday. Deflected in front, loose in the slot, cleared away from Niles, and Henry's able to make his way to center.
What an opportunity for Seattle, and Matt Barzell on entry, neutralized by a great defensive effort from Dawson Liedl.
You defend with a 5-man unit. It's not just all the defensemen. And this time Regina ices it.
Well, when you look at the details and what you need in your game to be a pro, 35 goals regular season doesn't hurt, 81 points. Here's a chance from Wagner. Boy, he can get up to speed in a hurry. 2 strides and he's at full flight. And then Barzell, like we've seen him do so many times, a one-man show, 200 feet on the entry, and watch right there. There's the stick lifted. Niles' stick from Liedl, and then later, watch it again here. That second effort right there. Great job by Liedl getting to the stick, and later in that shift, he's the one down on one knee blocking the shot. That might have something to do with why the Rangers decided to sign him yesterday.
And they weren't the only team interested. Strand, loose in front, Brown battling to keep it out. We've seen a lot of that from Tyler Brown in these playoffs.
Well, we've seen the puck arrive to the crease for Brown so many times, and it's like a house of cards just collapsing on top of him. It hasn't been easy. He makes the initial save in good desperation. He lost his net, but he battled, like you said, Pete, to get onto that post and seal it, to wait for his teammates to come and bail him.
Brown has faced 21 shots in the game. The Regina Pats hoping to make their way to the Memorial Cup this year in Windsor, Ontario. And here's the young man from Windsor, Colorado, Brian Wagner, and he has an assist on the go-ahead goal by Robbie Holmes in the second period. Ensor finds Volkin with Moylinen. Ensor the trailer, and the pass for him missed as Reese Harsh clears it in. Off the stick of Henry, and out it goes. Flipped by Ensor, back in as he heads off in a change. Holmes sends it ahead in the neutral zone for Steele. Steele now comes off the boards, backhander on the short side. Stankowski the save, and when you see Steele on the ice, you generally find Ottenbright and Bear.
Normally when you're talking about guys separating the man from the puck, it's Ottenbright, but it's in reverse here. Look at Steele on the body, separates him, and then right away has a nose for the net, pulls it to the backhand for a chance to the net, but it's the full rounded game from Steele that made him a first round pick to the Anaheim Ducks. Physical, he's got intensity, obviously skill, 131 points in the regular season. You're looking at the full package right there.
9 goals, 19 assists for those 28 points. Steele a face-off win, but jumping on the loose puck was Kolesar. Bursts into the zone. Harrison stays right with him. Don't always talk a lot about Harrison and Zabrowski, but they've been key. Is Ottenbright loose in front for Niles, and he was unable to shoot the rebound. Here comes Wagner, and Ottenbright with a little tug on him. As Wagner launches himself into Ethan Bear, who makes a lovely play. But the Pats stay with it. That's lead all again. Barzell upended. Wagner shoots it, and Barzell's hot at referee Ingram.
See Barzell not too pleased, and that's one of the things that you run a risk on with a guy like that. The puck's on his stick so often, you have to do a good job keeping your feet moving to defend him. And what do you need from your power forwards? Look at him use his backside to protect the puck. How are you supposed to penetrate and get any kind of resistance on that? 225 pounds protecting the puck. Does a good job, Kolesar does, getting it low to high, and then goes to the net. Nice shift down low.
Alexander True to take the draw. He's led the way offensively for Seattle with a goal and an assist. They didn't teach him that in Denmark. In international play, using your feet on the face-off is illegal. But in 3 years, he's learned the tricks of the trade. Hyman fakes a shot, wants a lane, dishes off Gropp, who can really shoot it.
Hard to believe that he hasn't got a goal in this series when you look at the amount of opportunities that he had. He's made some nice dishes past the puck and been in on a lot of goals with an assist in each of 2 games coming into tonight, but a guy that scored 35 regular season, the second round draft pick from the New York Rangers. You get the feeling that he's close to bursting at the seams. When he shoots the puck, he doesn't take long to send it, and usually it's on target.
All the tools, Kevin.
Yep, no doubt about it.
All of them. Size, good frame, shoots at a pile, can skate, create separation.
20-year-old player signed, sent back to junior, and that's not a bad thing, especially when you're going back to an organization and a team like the Seattle Thunderbirds. More lessons to learn, and I think that he's matured throughout the course of the season. This second half of the season was lights out. 28 games in the remaining part of the regular season, he had 51 points.
And maybe learning a bit of one tonight with his removal from the number 1 line of Barzell and Kolesar.
It's a results business. I mean, at the end of the day, are you getting the job done, and aren't you? And I'm not saying that he's not getting the details taken care of, but he has been a guy that can give more when it comes to offense, and There you see Steele taking a hit. I believe that was Colasar on the body. And certainly a guy you want to target physically. If you don't give him time and space, you'll pay for that.
Boylan throws that shoulder check.
1-8, not 2-8. How do I get those two confused?
Well, here's why. Because this little guy packs a punch. It's one of the first things that Steve Konowalchuk mentioned in our meetings before the series. He goes about 5'9", 180, but doesn't play that way.
Well, Colasar 6'3", 225, and I thought he was him, and it's because of that physical presence that he brings. I agree.
Lead all battling. Comes out of the scrum to Wagner, who taps it by Bear, tracks it down versus Ottenbright. Lead all to Steele against Bear. Player of the year against Defenseman of the year, and Leadall was set up but banned, and back comes Volkin in transition with Enser and Bear. A wrister by Volkin, whose last point came in Game 1 of the Kelowna series, and it's Moylan who looks for his second of the night, but Brown hangs on.
Check out this opportunity in the offensive zone. This comes from a pass off the wall from Leadall, and I don't know how under pressure. He sends this puck wide right there, and it's right into the wheelhouse of Sam Steele. And he's under pressure. He's about to take a hit, but he makes the play, and then Steele. We've seen him do that a lot too, haven't we? Down below the goal line, protect the puck, puts that left arm out. He's not a big guy, but he is strong and torquey down low. He's been real effective in the ozone.
Well, Seattle has dominated the shots on goal in this period. Only 25-20 on the night, but by my count, Regina has only one so far in period 3. Barzell back out again versus Slobozhin.
You look at face-offs, and in this series, in the first 2 games, a little bit surprising. Regina winning 62% of their face-offs, just under. They're 50-50 tonight coming into the 3rd period, but face-offs, that detail has been heavily swayed into the Regina Pat's favor.
Regina was down by our count 63-37 after the first, so they made strides in the second. Niles twisting on the cycle towards Colasar. Colasar battling Hobbs. We've seen a lot of that tonight. Slobozhin and Barzell, a pair of 13s. Backhander by Barzell in the wraparound stop. Harsh! That hit Hobbs and took a bite. Nice pass by Slobozhin, but all couldn't carry on. Barzell will. Niles and Colasar head to the net. Strand takes the pass. Stutter step in behind the net. Tries to drop it short side. Slobozhin clears on the boards, but Barzell turning with it. Barzell, Hyman, there's all in the shooting lane.
He's certainly taken his game to another level or two since Game 1. Again, a goal and an assist in Game 2 tonight. He has been excellent in so many different areas. A block shot right there.
This building has been buzzing since the warm-up, but right now you can sense there's a few more nervous fans in the rink. Here once again is Stu Wolf.
Yeah, thanks very much, Pete. We were all in the room talking with John Paddock yesterday, and I asked him about his team's excellent road record, and we do appreciate John Paddock when he does get straight to the point, as he often does. He says basically it's because we have good players and we didn't lose to anyone we shouldn't have lost to. I don't think any of us could have argued with his reasoning there, and it's a decent theory.
28, 5-2-1 on the road. They scored 156 goals for, had 95 against them on the road. Those are amazing numbers. By the way, when the Pats lead after 2 periods here in the postseason, 8-0-1.
One overtime loss. First 2 games of this series required extra time. John Paddock's team won Game 2 on Josh Mahura's overtime winner on the power play, and the Pats have 2 more power play goals in this game. So back-to-back 2 power play goals for a Pats team that led the league during the regular season in power play percentage, on their way to 353 regular season goals.
Just under 1 goal on the power play for every 3 opportunities in the regular season, 31.5%, first in the league.
Barzell this time against Buziak. So Konowalchuk able to get his top line out against Regina's third line. Fourth lines have not seen a lot of action in this series. But Regina makes the outlet, and look where they go. Job well done. And at the bench, all the coaches went over and told them just that.
It's the details, isn't it? Knowing what to do when you're on the ice, know when to get off.
When so little separates opponents has been pretty evident through 2 games and 2+ periods of this series. So far, it's been all you would want in a championship affair. Steele with Wagner. The entry. Wagner tests Stankowski again. Lead-all tries to jam it on the short side, and back comes Barzell. The Islander first rounder to Ethan Bear. He'll drill it, and he can drill it. Blocker down by Brown and clear. Now he'll send it in. Brought first to it. Out there with True and Adams. Alexander True protects it with that big frame. True, wrist shot tipped in front and blocked by Sergei Zborowski, and then Steele nearly sent away. I think that was a diving work from Lead-all, who's done it all in this game.
Oh, hasn't he ever?
Drop. Clears it with True heading to the net, and that's good goaltending by Tyler Brown to direct it to the corner.
Good spot by you, Lubo, no doubt about it. Had he stopped that puck and it remains, True's there licking his chops to pounce on that rebound. Brown recognizes the drive to the net from True, and he kicks it to the corner. Nice heads up pick up by you, Lubo. And here's that shot from Ethan Bear. Look at the tip. I'm not sure that goes off of Tyler Adams' stick, and then Brown is forced to make the save. I'm not sure how many easy saves that Brown has made tonight, but there hasn't been many. He's had to deal with a lot of traffic and redirects net front.
27-21 of the shots. The pass with a 3-2 advantage. 12:15 remaining in regulation time. Game 4, we'll have it for you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Fulkin off a face-off win. Hit a stick before Brown collects that. Once again tomorrow on Shaw, Access in Regina, and in the United States, right here in this area on this TV.
Here you look at that one face-off by Seattle. We talk about how important face-offs are. That's Nolan Volkin with the chance. It's hard to believe for me. He hasn't had a point in 7 games. He does so many things well, takes care of details more than anything. The guy just works every shift.
Strand, low shot off another Seattle face-off win. Reese Harsh. Strand, wrist shot. He has 4 goals in the playoffs.
I have been so impressed with him, his puck skills, his mobility. I'm not sure he makes those plays last year. He has grown as a player immensely.
That's how you make it to the league final. And remember, they obtained him in a trade that sent Brandon Schulthouse to Red Deer.
Russ Farwell has made some moves to make his team better over the course of the year, and boy, he's made some significant moves and getting great value, and one of them, Austin Strand, for sure.
Interesting bounce out of the corner, but no pads were there as Stankowski went out of the net to play it. Strand at the end of a lengthy shift, intercepted in the neutral zone, cleared right back in by Zborowski, who's had a whale of a night on the Pats defense. Plus 24 in the playoffs coming into tonight.
Plus 72 regular season. That blows my mind. This is a good league. Plus 72 led all players by a landslide.
The building buzzing again, urging on the home side. Ottenbright, high shot off the shoulder of Brown. Barzell turns on a dime. Backhand for Niles. Right back to Barzell, and there's Steele with a good defensive play. Hits the linesman and stays with it. Sam Steele in front for all who tipped it, and that's a key save by Stankowski in a 1-goal game. Back to Hobbs, shortens up on his stick. Kolazar dumps him. It's a 4-on-1 the other way. Fans on their feet. Barzell in front, and he missed Bear. And the net comes off.
How many times have you called a 4-on-1 in the last month, Pete?
Not once.
Yeah, not once, because you don't see it very often at all, especially in the playoffs. especially when two teams are playing at the level that they are. But here it is, 4 white jerseys. There's Barzell, nobody better to have the puck. He makes a beautiful move to the backhand, but Ethan Bear, the D-man, the WHL D-man of the year, runs out of real estate. I think that he gets just a little bit handcuffed by the pass and comes up empty.
Credit Austin Wagner. Came all the way back and maybe just distracted Bear enough as they fix the crease area. The ice, a bit of a problem as the linesmen tidy it up with 10:19 to go in period 3. And Tyler Brown, who's turned aside 27 of 29, takes a little skate away from the place that he calls home.
Second best goals against average in the postseason, a 2.16. 50 regular season games this year, 50 regular season games last year. John Paddock, early in the season last year, decided to make the move and send Wapple out of town, and he wanted to give the posts to Tyler Brown, and he has certainly developed in preparation for what we're seeing right now.
I believe the chant is "Let's go Birds." Zabrowski to Wagner, chips it neatly to Liedall with Slobozhin joining him, and Mahura. Mahura jumps up, robbed by Stankowski, who makes another big stop. Holmes off the bench in hot pursuit. Regina looking to add some insurance here. Under 10 to go in regulation. Back to Mahura. Wrister high on Stankowski. Juggles and holds it. Lead all to Josh Mahura. But Stankowski says no, no, no.
Tony Roman's, serving its signature ribs for 40 years. With an expanded menu including steaks, chicken, and seafood, Tony Roman's is a family dining destination. Tony Roman's, legendary for ribs, famous for so much more.
Hey.
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 Hey. Hey, hey, hey.
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 Hey, looks like you have time. Take a 2-minute test and find out your risk of getting type 2 diabetes.
Hi folks, it's me, Don Taylor, way up here with my friend Murph. At Levitt Machinery, they sell, lease, rent, and service all these machines, and they offer certified training. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it. Levitt.
Well, in a 3-2 game, specialty teams had a big factor, especially in the first period, in the adjustment that the Pats made to find time and space for Hobbs. He made no mistake with a beauty bomb from the blue line, and then Barzell putting the puck into good areas to set up his teammate True, who responds with a power play. And then after not clearing the puck from Ethan Bear, Harrison gets it and just puts it to the net on the ice with great traffic net front by the Pats. That puts them up 2-1, but before the first period ended, that happened. Molainen recovers a quick rebound in tight. It's 2-2, and then in the second period, the lone goal came from that third line. Robbie Holmes gets his third of the postseason, again, 2 all regular season, and that's where we stand here at the halfway point of the third. 3-2 for the Pats.
Carl Stankowski makes a big save. Well, we were going to show you, but every once in a while, technically, things will freeze. It was a good one.
Well,
Josh Mahura.
What we were going to show you was a man pass from Liedall, who's a left-handed shot, cuts in, stops up, and he puts it on the tape of Wagner hard and fast. And those passes will bode well for him at the next level. He passes it like a pro.
9:52 to go in regulation. Robbie Holmes, third of the playoffs at 4:49 of the second, still stands tall. Another one-goal game. Moylan wins a race, backhands it in front. Answer looking for a loose puck. And now Wagner chips and chases around Otbright, a weak backhander from Wagner. Another shot on goal for Austin Wagner.
Well, you talk about speed and what it does to other teams. Well, it's so hard to defend against because what you want as a defender, you want to have good gap. That means to stay up tight and don't give the opposition any time or space to get creative in the neutral zone as they enter the offensive zone. But with Wagner, you stay up too tight, he's going to beat you 9 times out of 10. But if you back off, now he's got time and space and he's going to make plays in front of you. Pick your poison. He is so hard to defend, and there you see him on the rush on the backhand. Does he get more on that if he doesn't have that shoulder? Maybe, but I'll tell you what, we're not seeing very many signs of his game sagging because of it.
Now was in all kinds of difficulty in the second period. Missed game 4 of the third round set versus Lethbridge as a result, I think, of probably a similar problem in nature. But Austin Wagner remains in the game. No Adam Brooks for a second straight night. And the Pats continue to lead. Are they going to call too many men here, or the puck just went out of play?
I think it goes off of a glove of a Regina Pat on the bench, and we'll stay even strength.
John Paddock, you see Brad Haroff on the left of your screen, former coach of the Regina Pat Canadians. Led them to a Saskatchewan Midget Hockey League title a couple of years ago.
There you see John Paddock rolling his fingers. He wants the line change after he sees Henser come out with Malinen and Volkan. He's got Wagner off the ice.
Wagner off. Wagner on. Henser chips in against Hobbs. Henser wins another 50-50 puck battle. He wins a lot of those.
Plays from the inside of a pile out, and that's exactly what you get when you do that, is you come out with the puck more times than not.
But another solid defensive effort by Harrison. Henser wants Volkan, has him. Good stick by Mahura that time. Otbright launches himself into Wagner. That's a couple of solid guys colliding. Bear to Ottenbright. Seattle changing. Barzell steams in. Turns back. He loves that curl play, and sometimes this can happen. Steele racing in, backhander. Might this be a penalty shot? Steele has drawn a penalty. We know that for sure. Leadall centers it back to the line now, and Mahura. The Pats net is empty. Wagner. Leadall. Mahura let it go, tipped right through the crease. Steele wins a race to Wagner. Play continues. Henry leaves it. Steele in front for Leadall. Mahura. Great block by Kolazar.
Laying it on the line. Nice job by 28 White. The big man gets in the lane and comes up with the game's most important block.
You want to be careful shooting it back towards an empty net. I've seen a couple of those.
Jansen, Harkins, Prince George, one of them.
It'll just be hooking, I bet.
Fans wondering if it possibly could have been a penalty shot. In the speed of the game, I thought that perhaps they just got the stick of Sam Steele, but we're going to watch this right from the D zone and look at the anticipation. They know he's going to curl up. Holmes pressures, and Steele knows he's in trouble. He knows where the puck is going, and he jumps, and we're going to see the call is made. It's the right call. There's the hook on the right arm.
Penalty shot.
And we're looking at a penalty shot. Nice call.
I wondered, and indeed the call has been made. So 3-2, Steve Konowalchuk's team dealing with a penalty shot. And it'll be Sam Steele who takes it, trying to give Regina a 2-goal lead. Steele, backhander, stopped by Stankowski.
You got to be here to feel it. What energy. And I'll tell you what, we talk about big moments in big games, and how about Carl Stankowski, the 16-year-old, turned 17, faces the league's MVP and leading goal scorer, 50 goal scorer, 131 points regular season. Steele makes a good move from forehand to backhand, and Stankowski, what a key moment in this game, and there's many ways to inject energy into the building, and that's one of them.
They were all on their feet. Many of them still are. Might this be a key moment in this series?
Listen to them roar. My goodness.
It remains 3-2. Slobozhin loses the draw to answer. Zabrowski pitches, play on. Moylinen and Mahura. Moylinen picks his pocket, but great help from Slobozhin. Again, been a lot of that from Wyatt Slobozhin from Vanscoy, Saskatchewan, small town just outside of Saskatoon.
What we saw in the game's third goal, he was the one that created separation on the forecheck and then in the neutral zone. And again, a guy that was acquired from the Spokane Chiefs. He played one game in Spokane after being sent there from the Saskatoon Blades. Riker Cole, Riley Woods sent to Spokane in exchange for him. And one of the things Paddock liked about Slobozhin, his work ethic, his leadership qualities, former captain of the Blades, but he's a guy that can play on the wing and at center. And in the absence of Jake Decision, they're using him at center. He's so effective in so many different situations.
And been elevated with the absence of Adam Brooks after game number 1. And has his 13th point of the playoffs tonight. Regina jumping up this time is Harrison. Can't accept the pass from Leadall cleanly. And back comes True. 3-on-3. True with Tyler Adams. He curls. Draw up in the slot. Wrist shot. Thought he was going to get another chance. And Slobozhin, make that steal, slides it out. 6:28 to go in regulation time. A 3-2 pass lead in game 3. To the winner tonight, a series lead. Game 4 tomorrow, same time, same place. 7 Pacific, 8 o'clock in Saskatchewan. This is Slobozhin again to Philip All. True watching him. All backhands it. He hit True with it. Henry versus Tishka, who fends him off. Hyman can't clear it out as Henry plays it in behind the net. Gobbled up by True.
Well played shift defensively by the Seattle Thunderbirds. Under pressure, but they just kept defensive position and they bailed themselves out of a situation where they were hemmed in their D zone.
Barzell with speed through the neutral zone. They thought he turned back. Niles with a chance, but shot it over top of the net. Little change-up from Barzell that time. Instead of going back, he went the other way. Now on the cycle, Barzell to Donovan Niles. The game 1 hero in overtime. Ottenbright tip. Brown, a huge save. Still loose. What a stop on the redirect by Brown. Strand keeps it in. Wagner should be able to clear. 5 to go in regulation.
When you're dialed in, and Brown is.
Niles, backhander, loose in front. Again, Brown finds a way under utter duress. Ottenbright hits Leadall with it. Junior hockey at its best on a Tuesday night in Kent, Washington. Strand takes a look up the ice. Pats would be content to leave him there for 4:16. Cut off in the middle by Hobbs, and offside will be the call.
We talked about Tyler Brown in the open and his resiliency. We talked about his mental toughness. When he had setbacks, he's always found ways to compete, and compete he has been doing tonight. No easy shots. There's the redirect off of the drive, and look at the initial save. That's one thing, but how about his battle? A little bit of luck. That puck is wide, but he has worked so hard to contend with net front traffic. Bodies in his crease, flesh all over him. It doesn't seem to faze him. He has competed maybe more than anybody here tonight.
And don't forget about the youngster at the other end, Stankowski, who stopped Sam Steele on a penalty shot with 7:15 to go.
Treated with a little bit of everything from both sides, haven't we? Great power play, some excellent penalty kills. Scott Enser in the second period. We've seen hits, physicality, goaltending. Come on. How much are tickets? I think it's worth it.
Is this a time issue? Must be. 4:12 remaining. John Paddock's team that far away, but that's an eternity. Tishka to Ethan Bear, who has an assist, has points in the first 3 games of this set. 4 of them. He had 7 points in last year's championship series. Tishka, glove down and sent out by Buziak. And icing will be the case here as Bear back at Tishka to save some time.
Well, bench management will be real easy, and one thing that won't be a surprise is we'll see number 13 in the white jersey coming onto the ice, and I'm not sure how often that he'll be stepping off of it. We're 3:42 left, T-Birds down by a goal. And someone called a timeout. I think it's the T-Birds.
No, I think it might be Regina. And it is.
Yeah, from the icing.
They want to make changes and receive some rest. We've previewed it, but let's do it again. Well worth it. Pats and the Seattle Thunderbirds, game number 4 tomorrow night. Levitt Machinery's Western Hockey League on Shaw. 8 Mountain, 7 Pacific. You can also watch it on Access and this TV in the United States. If this doesn't sell your product, this series, I'm not quite sure what would. And we've got a long way to go.
We'll talk about the importance of the face-offs after 2, 50-50. It's been an even split between these 2 teams. And it's details like that and times like this where that stat becomes oh so important as Barzell will take this in the ozone.
Versus Steele. Barzell wins it to Bear, drops it off, set play. Niles in front, Brown again! That's his most important save. He robbed Turner Ottenbright.
I can't believe what I just saw, and not just from this shift, but here in this period. Brown has made some key saves in the face-off win. Look at that little drop pass. That's brilliant from Bear to Niles. The puck arrives, and again, look at the splits and the desperation from Brown. He makes the initial save, and we'll take another look. Good face-off win, huge detail at this time of the game, and I love that drop pass. Unbelievable. He's been so active in his crease. Good positioning. The puck arrives, and he covers it up.
Well, he was one of our featured players off the top of our broadcast tonight, and the Winnipegger is living up to the billing. Some kind of save off of Turner Ottenbright. He's made a number of them in this period. Now Kolizar cuts to the middle. Traffic forming. Kolizar, that goes off Harrison. And Wagner one-hands it out. A race. Steele and Kolizar. And Kolizar got back in the nick of time. Barzell off the boards towards Niles. Hobbs backhands it out, and Liedall will glove it to the Thunderbird blue line. Ethan Bear shoots it in. Harrison first to it with Hobbs. Couple of reverses to exit the zone. Bear intercepted by Harrison, and this will be icing. And Regina won't be able to stop it this time.
It'll be interesting to see how this last 2 minutes and 43 seconds is played by the Regina Pats. Will they sit back on that 1-goal lead? They know that Seattle's going to blitz. They're going to go at them every opportunity. They've got the offensive zone face-off right now. For me, it's always dangerous when you change the way you play, whether you're down or up. The pressure needs to continue, and pressure they will have to contend with here as Seattle has had a couple momentum swinging shifts here lately.
32-28 the shots in favor of Seattle, but that Robbie Holmes second period tally still the difference. Tishka plays it into an open corner, tracked down by Steele, who is robbed by Stankowski on a penalty shot moments ago. He sends it off the boards, now finds Wagner, who really wasn't in a very good position, and steered it wide. Back comes Alexander True. True to Moyalinen. Moyalinen puts on the brakes. For answer, back to Strand, finds Tishka, returns the favor. Lots of traffic again. True! Stopped by Brown on the short side. Can Steele clear it out? No, he can't. Seattle buzzing for an equalizer. Late, we're under 2 to go in regulation. Moyalinen puts on the brakes. This is Enser. Gets a little pick from Moyalinen. Enser backhands it through the crease, and Wagner an opportunity to jump on a loose puck. Intercepted by Tishka. Regina's changing. Here's Enser bursting in. There's a penalty upcoming. And it's going to Regina. Ottenbright a shot high and wide. And with 1:27 to go, the Thunderbirds will have a chance to tie this game on a power play.
Well, if you haven't had enough drama from an unbelievably jam-packed, exciting game, we got a little bit more for you here. 1-goal hockey game, 1:27 left. T-Birds down by a goal, and they'll enjoy a power play here to try to even things up.
It will be their fourth. Again, 6,178 strong, many of them on their feet. Seattle has lost just once at home in the playoffs. That was in Game 2 in overtime in the Western Conference Championship Series at the hands of the Kelowna Rockets.
Sorry, Pete.
Time to penalty 18-23.
Now it's the Thunderbirds who call timeout.
Fantastic job in the neutral zone by Tishka to create the turnover. You look at the top of your screen at the center line. That push, not a real clear look at it, but it happened right in front of the benches. Tough for us to find initially. Our crew working hard downstairs to get a good angle. Happened behind the play in the middle of a line change. You see Dave Strush getting his message across clearly to his guys getting in the lanes.
And Austin Wagner is the guilty recipient, one of the best penalty killers.
3 shorthanded goals in the playoffs, but it's his speed and his effort that makes him so effective. So hard to beat him, and boy, can he work hard to get back into the defensive zone as well. So that's a double whammy against the Pats for sure.
Like the Kentucky Derby on Saturday, down the stretch they come in Game 3. Seattle on the power play, and they win the draw. Barzell. Kolazar. True in front. Bear a shot. Knocked Brown's stick out of his hands. Can he cover it? Yes, he can. Tyler Brown has another quality answer.
You couldn't ask for one more thing from this guy, as he has been the difference. He's the #1 star for me tonight, regardless, as he has been battling. He's been mobile in that crease, and when the pressure is on, it seems like he's at his best. 6-on-4 power play with the net empty for the Thunderbirds. There's the initial shot, and then the follow-up. Brown, without the stick, manages to maintain his position. It's been magic tonight.
True versus Steele. And you don't need Wolf Blitzer from the Situation Room to tell you that every face-off from here on in is important. Held in by Barzell. They work 6-on-4. Kolazar on the stick of Liedall, but he couldn't swat it out into the final minute. Now Liedall will shoot it out at the empty net, but he missed it. However, because they're short-handed, no icing. Bear in the lane, there's Liedall again. Barzell enters the zone against Lebosian. There's going to be another Regina penalty. Wyatt Slobozhin's going to go, and now, are they both going or just one?
Referee's pointing to the box for Barzell. They're going to take them both.
Oh, and Seattle loses its most dangerous player with 35 seconds remaining.
Well, we had a tough time finding the Wagner penalty. No problem finding this one as Slobozhin gets his stick into the wickets of Barzell, but the referees felt there was an over-embellishment from Barzell. As he was on his way down, they're going to take both of them off. And Seattle will remain with a one-man power play.
And should work 4-on-3, or will it remain 5-on-4? Stankowski's gone back in the net. Now he'll come out because the face-off's going to remain or go into Regina territory.
You can see right there Steve Konowalchuk not happy at all, and it's the trade-off that hurts maybe more than the penalty. As Slobozhin goes off, he's been key for Regina, but the best player for the Seattle Thunderbirds and Barzell, he'll be off as well, and you know he was a key guy that they will be focusing on to get this game tied.
So 6-on-4. Embellishment had to be the call. Seattle wins the draw. Draw. Answer. And it is embellishment. Bear tees it up. Kolizar. Wrist shot. Rebound. And True just slid it wide. What a chance for True to tie it. 16 to go. Kolizar through the seam. Answer. Blocked in front. Loose puck. And a glove pass, and that means the face-off is going to come outside the Regina line with 8.7 remaining. Quality opportunity for Alexander True.
You talk about a game of inches. We saw Liedall miss an open net by maybe 2 inches in the shift prior, and then Seattle on full tilt. Look at True. He's always net front, and he's been so effective. He's going to find himself with an opportunity. The puck will end up net front, and he puts it wide of that far left post and misses by inches. There's the shot, there's the rebound, and there's the miss.
True, that post is sending us to extra time for a third straight game. Face-off play. Draw. Kolizar hits, guess who? Liedall. And the Regina Pats will hang on and take a 2-1 series lead in the best-of-7 title for the Edson Out Cup. And they're mobbing Tyler Brown, as they should be.
Well, you need good goaltending. You have to have it to get to this level and to get this deep into the playoffs. And Tyler Brown tonight, as he has been so often throughout the course of these playoffs, was beyond spectacular. He turned away 36 of 38 shots tonight, and just when you think that he was out, down, and the puck's going to end up in his mesh, he magically, numerous times tonight, found ways to get paddles, to get arms, to get shoulders, to get legs on pucks. Great rebound control tonight. You're looking at the difference right there in Tyler Brown.
Tyler Brown turns aside 36 of 38, and we'll have to double check the count. Seattle with 20 shots, I believe, in the third period. We'll give you the details on all of that and more on our post-game show. The Regina Pats have come to Kent, Washington and win Game 3, 3-2 to take a 2-1 series lead. We'll be back with more after this.
Before and after the game, Tony Roma's offers casual family dining. Tony Roma's, a family destination. Legendary ribs, and famous for so much more.
With the scholarship program that WHL produces for us players is huge, and it helps us just kind of not worry about the money aspect of it, but just focus on the school and your hockey, and makes it a lot easier on a student for sure.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but for many, just getting hold of a stick is the hardest part. That's why I'm a proud member of the Horatio Alger Association of Canada. Through generous scholarships, the association gives hard-working young Canadians who have faced great adversity a shot at a higher education. Beginning this year, our scholarships will be available to students in financial need in every corner of Canada. To learn more, visit HoratiaLalger.ca.
Hey, Mr. Ricky.
Boys, I want you to meet someone. Outstanding athlete, the former second lieutenant in the United States Army, and your new second baseman, Jackie Robinson.
Hi, gentlemen.
Et maintenant va d'emblée Royaux. And now batting for the Royals, le deuxième but, the second baseman, Jackie Robinson. Quatrième manche, fourth inning.
Record numbers of cheering Montrealers helped Jackie Robinson break baseball's color bar that year. He never forgot the city that launched his journey to baseball's Hall of Fame.
Before and after the game, Tony Roma's offers casual family dining. Tony Roma's, a family destination, legendary ribs, and famous for so much more.
Welcome to Select Fluid Power, home of our brand new state-of-the-art cylinder repair and hard chrome plating facility. With a fully equipped hydraulic cylinder repair shop, Select Fluid Power is your one-stop cylinder repair shop. Open 7 days a week, serving Western Canada. Hi folks, Don Taylor here. Need a lift? At Levitt Machinery, they sell, rent, lease, and service machinery for your material handling needs. And they offer certified training. Stack it, reach it, lift it. Levitt.
And welcome back to Seattle, where it was the Regina Pats getting past the Seattle Thunderbirds by a score of 3-2 in Game 3 of the WHL Championship Series. Again, Game 3. We are here with the Game 3 first star, Tyler Brown of the Regina Pats, the goaltender, stopping 36 of 38 shots this evening. And Tyler, we'll just start by asking you if you did feel like you were in a bit of a zone, a rhythm this evening.
Yeah, you know, you try and carry that through every game of the playoffs, and you know, as soon as like the game started, basically, it fed off the energy of the crowd. Like, it's awesome here, and I felt real good.
Why aren't you surprised that it was yet another one-goal game?
We're real great teams, right? And we're in the finals, and you know, every game's going to come down to the last goal here. It's going to be a tight game every time, and I wouldn't expect anything else.
What did you feel was your assessment of this game from your vantage point there?
Assessment?
Your assessment of the game.
Assessment. Oh, yeah. You know, we played really good. You know, we did give up quite a few chances, but you know, that's what I'm there for. And you know, we found the goals that we needed to and capitalized on the power play.
I want to ask you what you have to be most aware of when Matthew Barzell is on the ice, kind of dancing around and going east to west.
Probably more the other guys that are on the ice. You know, he's mostly a passer, so if you know where the other guys are, you know, he's probably going to hit them.
How nice from your end of the rink to see the power play be so efficient in that first period.
It's awesome. You know, we kind of struggled compared to our regular season in the first part of the playoffs here, so it was good to get those goals tonight.
What is it like out there? Do you feel that the emotion is ramping up even further, and there's perhaps even more of a healthy dislike creeping in after Game 3 here?
Yeah, you know, that's expected. You know, we're playing each other every night. We're the only team that play each other, and you know, we don't see each other during the regular season, so that's what comes when you play each other.
Did it feel like the fastest game of the series out there tonight?
You know, Game 1 was pretty fast. I thought that was more faster, yeah.
How nice to see Chase Harrison contribute tonight. Indeed, doesn't usually get too many goals for you, but contributed big time.
You know, he's one of our steady Eddie D-men, and you know, I always tell him before the game I want to see a C&I shot before the game, and you know, happened for him tonight.
Why is your team so good on the road?
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess there's less pressure on the boys, and you know, we just got to come out swinging, and we know that when we come on the road, and yeah, it just comes naturally, I guess.
And how much fun as a group are you guys having? It seems like there's a lot of camaraderie. We saw yesterday everyone congratulating him with signing the 3-year entry-level deal with the New York Rangers, and tonight as well. What makes this team tick?
You know, it's just a great group of guys in general. You know, we're all tight, and we do a lot of things together, and you know, just to see some success come from us after playing so good, it's an awesome feeling, and we're like brothers, right? Like any hockey team, so it's good for us.
How key to get this first one of 3 on the road in this series to take that 2-1 series lead?
It's huge, you know, so then we got a chance to bring it back home now if it does go there, and yeah, that's all I can say really.
All right, Tyler, good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Andy Neal, let's head up to you. Tyler Brown, kind enough to sit down with us, our game's first star, after stopping 36 of 38 shots.
Absolutely brilliant. Thanks very much, Stu. And there are the 3 stars. Tony Romo's 3 stars. Tyler Brown, the number 1 star. Connor Hobbs with a goal to open the scoring tonight for the Regina Pats, and Alexander True had a goal and an assist for the Seattle Thunderbirds. He is the 3rd star tonight, but the Regina Pats have taken a 2-1 series lead in this best-of-7 WHL Championship. We're in very tight quarters here. We've added Kevin Sawyer. I know, one step away from the edge here. Joey Kenward joining us also, but a dramatic finish. Another whale of a hockey game between these 2 teams. 1 shot away from another overtime, but Kevin, how'd you see it in that 3rd period?
Well, the 3rd period to me was all Tyler Brown. I mean, you need goaltenders to steal games for you at times, and to me, there was a lot of key players on both sides, but Tyler Brown coming up with timely saves. He had to deal with traffic all night long. There were pucks being thrown at him, redirects, 2nd and 3rd opportunities, and when he was down and out, he still found ways to get himself in the lanes to sponge up pucks, and I mean, I'll tell you what, turning away 36 of 38, he was lights out tonight.
I give credit to also those players in front of him for maybe the first 10, 11 minutes of that 3rd period. That was about as picture-perfect performance on the road that you could ever expect any road team to have in a league final. They're nursing a 1-goal lead. They were very responsible in all 3 zones. Didn't press too much, trying to get that insurance goal on Carl Stankowski. They played very well between the blue lines, and then if they had to crawl back into a bit of a shell, there was Brown to be able to seal the deal defensively. And where this game really turned in the 3rd period was on the penalty shot opportunity by Sam Steele, because most of these fans in this building at that point had been sitting on their hands. He makes Stankowski stop Steele. It's his 2nd penalty shot save of these WHL playoffs, and after that the ice was tilted completely in favor of the Thunderbirds, just unable to get that equalizer.
Well, and it's crazy. As great as Tyler Brown was in the game, Carl Stankowski made some terrific stops at the other end. Again, the goaltending, 5 goals tonight, but goaltending at times tonight, Kevin, was just brilliant.
It sure was, and Stankowski has been great throughout the playoffs. There's been games where he's been okay, and he's 16 years old. I thought tonight that he might have lost his net a little bit, particularly in that Robbie Holmes game-winning goal. But again, key moments, he's 16 years old, and he took charge. I mean, that's the leading goal scorer in the Western Hockey League, 50 goal scorer, 131 points, and there's time to think about that. And there's no fear that he shows whatsoever. This building erupted, and you're right, it was a key save at a key time to give his team an opportunity to gain momentum, which they did, and they really poured on the gas from there.
We'll take a quick timeout. Post-game here as the Regina Pats celebrate a 3-2 victory. Robbie Holmes' 3rd stands up as the winner in 36 saves from Tyler Brown. Heroic tonight as the Pats earn the win in Kent.
Christmas Day, I'm gonna ask Steffi to marry me, and I'd really like your blessing. Yeah. No. Look, just give me a couple days to win you over. By Christmas morning, you're gonna be calling me son. I'm gonna be calling you dad.
Don't think that's gonna happen.
I think it's gonna, Dad.
I know it won't.
Dad, it will.
Stop that.
What, Dad?
That, stop that.
Dad, what are you talking about?
Yes, sir. Steph, you could be dating anyone. Why Laird?
He makes me really happy.
The War Amps has really helped me be confident and comfortable with my amputation. I honestly haven't found a single thing that I can't do.
Attending the CHAMP seminars, I've had a lot of great experiences. I've made new friends. I've learned a lot.
Being with all the kids, it's so good to know that there's other people that can help you through everything. The War Amps has given me a chance now to play guitar. I have a special swimming arm.
Without the War Amps, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Hi folks, it's me, Don Taylor, way up here with my friend Murph. At Levitt Machinery, they sell, lease, rent, and service all these machines, and they offer certified training. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it. Levitt.
Tony Roman's, serving its signature ribs for 40 years. With an expanded menu including steaks, chicken, and seafood, Tony Roman's is a family dining destination. Tony Roman's, legendary for ribs, famous for so much more.
Back at the ShoWare Center in Kent, Washington, Game 3 in the books, and the Regina Pats have stolen home ice advantage back in this best of 7. A 3-2 win tonight. Robbie Holmes, the game-winning goal in the second period. Tyler Brown with 36 saves. He was terrific in goal tonight for the Regina Pats. He had 41 stops against the Calgary Hitmen, which was his highest amount of saves, still is, in a game that goes in regulation time. So he was busy tonight.
I can guarantee you, and for every Regina Pats fan that's watching back in Saskatchewan right now, they'll say that, without a doubt, that was his best performance of the year in goal, home or away, for this Pats hockey club. Unbelievable. It was 20 shots in that third period alone that Seattle put his way, and there could have been a couple of others that found the target that weren't credited as shots on goal. That 4-on-1 rush that Seattle had, I don't even think was credited as a shot on goal. So he was busy. He was, without a doubt, the best performer in this hockey game. But I give a lot of credit to Robbie Holmes as well tonight, guys. We're talking about a rookie player in this league who cashes in with his 3rd goal of the postseason. He had 2 in the regular season. And coming into this year as an 11th round WHL Bantam draft pick, Kev, you know what it's like as a player or a coach in this league. If you can have somebody deep down your bench that can chip in with a big goal tonight, it proves to be the game winner. That gives everybody inside that visitors' locker room much more motivation.
You have to have your depth, and that third line for the Pats has been tampered with, and this is a guy he's a baseball player first. I mean, the toughest decision in his life
we got Seattle ready to go for their post-game comments. Let's go downstairs.
Thought we did some things well. Thought power plays against us earlier. We took some penalties early. They got a couple, but I thought we did some things well. They ended up scoring one more goal than us, and we gotta regroup tomorrow and get back at it.
Offensively, it looked like you guys had a lot of chances. You just missed the net. Was there enough traffic? How did you feel about that? Was it execution?
Some of it's execution. I mean, you don't want to miss a net on point-blank chances. And we need more traffic at times, but you know, we're generating some things there, so we'll look at different ways to capitalize on some of our chances.
You had a chance to go 6-on-3 there at the end. They called Matt for acknowledgement. What did you see there? What was your explanation you got?
I didn't get an explanation. In my opinion, it was should 100% be a penalty. The guy dropped a stick and raises his hands. That's usually a sure sale time. If you do something wrong, players usually raise their hands. They're the ones that tell you if there's something wrong. And he's got the puck. We got good possession there. He doesn't embellish anyway, but he's not going to embellish there and lose the puck and lose momentum. I thought that was the wrong call there.
And Matt, how frustrating was you? Not only that call, but just when you guys had a lot of puck possession, generated a lot of chances, just couldn't find that 3rd goal.
Yeah, I mean, I thought our possession down low was pretty solid, getting pucks to net, but I mean, I thought we did a pretty good job, especially in the 3rd period, just cycling and working down low. So we just gotta bring that in tomorrow.
Steve, did you feel that the early penalties, did it take it out of a little bit of a rhythm for you guys as well?
Well, it's hard to have flow. I thought when we were staying out of the penalty box there later, we were able to continue some pressure and maintain some some puck pressure and cycle game. But when you're getting penalties, and there was more early, then you can't create the pressure you'd like to create.
Matthew, what did you see there? Were you surprised to see her on a 4-on-1 there? And did their D-man play it rather decently, or what did you see on that play?
Yeah, I looked back. I saw our two late guys coming in. I saw they had a pretty good back checker coming, and then he slid. It was just Bearsy got up the ice pretty good there, and I just put in this triangle. It was tough for him to take. So again, just execution. Would have been nice to score, but we still had chances late in the game where we just got to bear down.
Steve, you've juggled lines a lot this year. You did a lot tonight. You're still just trying to find something that works? Is it matchups?
No, today was with some penalties and power plays. You have to kind of change it just to get back in sync right after. Usually a couple times through the rotation or until you get your lines back. But I thought, I thought Donnie Niles was playing well, and I wanted to put him up there. The guys that are playing well, I'm going to try to get them on the ice. And I thought Donnie Niles and some other guys were playing well, so they got, Donnie got moved up.
And Steve, they're finding a lot of luck on their power play. Is there anything you guys are game planning, changing up as the series goes, or?
Well, I mean, we still want to continue to, make the team make plays under pressure. They've had some traffic, and they've got the pucks in net with some screens, so we want to try to take that away from them a little bit.
Alex, you're able to solve Tyler Brown tonight, but he plays a pretty big role later in the game, comes up big. What did you learn? What's it take to solve him moving forward?
I think we just gotta be a little bit sharper on our chances. I think it's a good sign we're getting a lot of those good chances. We just gotta put in the net.
Alex, the first of 3 on home ice, a pretty unbelievable crowd tonight. What's it like playing in front of this crowd, and the fact that you have 2 more? Can you think of positive things ahead?
Yeah, it's always nice playing in front of a home crowd. It gives us some energy sometimes when we kill off penalties, stuff like that. So it gives us good energy sometimes.
And Steve, it seemed like they had a pretty strong forecheck tonight. Did you feel like that was disrupting your defensemen at all, causing them to make decisions a little bit quicker?
Well, at times. I mean, they've got some fast forwards. I mean, you get to this point, they've got good players. I think we're doing the same to their team. So it's about generating as much speed as often as you can, and trying to maintain the I guess the upper hand on the flow of the game, and a little bit of the territory advantage.
And Matt, this is the first time you guys have lost back-to-back games in quite a while, and you guys have been pretty resilient all year. What's the key to bouncing back from this and finishing out these last 2?
I mean, we're in the WHL Championship. I don't think you really want to dwell on a couple losses here. We've got to bounce back tomorrow here and get excited again. So I got a lot of confidence in this group, and we're a pretty lively group. So I'm sure we're going to bring the energy tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Good.
So Alexander True, Matt Barzell, the players for the Seattle Thunderbirds, Steve Konowalchuk, the head coach, in their post-game media conference. And so Seattle, for the first time in these playoffs, now with back-to-back losses and trailing the series 2-1. Big point late in the game, Regina's best penalty killer, or certainly the most dangerous, goes off late, but then Seattle's best power play and best player in Matt Barzell. That's quite an exchange for the 2 teams.
It certainly is, but you're talking about Austin Wagner, and let's talk about his performance throughout the course of the evening. Perhaps one of the most courageous efforts I've seen at this level in a while, and you know that he's hurting. He's a guy that missed Game 4 against Lethbridge. He looked and appeared to have hurt his shoulder, of an upper body injury, let's say, missed Game 4 in round 3, but again tonight he took a stinger. He went off the ice. I wasn't sure he was coming back based on his reaction, but this is a guy that came back out the very next shift, and he laid a huge hit on Ottenbright. He's a guy that was excellent on the penalty kill, tracking back to his zone. A guy that is a spiritual leader as well, and he was obviously sorely missed being in the penalty box at a key time.
Steve Konowalchuk, Joey mentioned, Donovan Niles really wanted to move him up.
He's been very impressive through the first 3 games of this series against Regina, and for a player that has chipped in offensively throughout the regular season, he has earned every bit of ice time that the coaching staff have given him, and they took Gropp off of that line with Colasar and Barzell, put Niles up there, provides a ton of energy. He's hungry for the puck. He's always wanting to be on the puck, and probably hasn't had many opportunities to play alongside Matthew or Keegan to this point in the playoffs, and now he's given that opportunity. Just couldn't find that all-important equalizer. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of frustrated players inside that T-Birds locker room, but it wasn't for lack of effort or opportunities tonight. They played a good game here at home. It was really tough sledding for them, though, in the opening 10 to 12 minutes of that third period. A great defensive effort, not only by the Pats, but by their last line of defense. Tyler Brown.
And Alexander True, you guys have been both talking about every game. He seems to be getting better and better, Kevin.
This is a guy that has learned so many lessons, I think, through the course of last year and in the playoffs, and he's taken his game to another level. And the thing that impresses me the most is the way that he has presence net front. I mean, he's coming out of piles and winning battles, but he's in front of the net at the right times, and he's putting his body and making it hard for goaltenders to see pucks, and he's got the big power play goal in Game 2, another goal and an assist here tonight. And when you have that kind of size, you have to be able to use it and be effective with it, and he's done that.
10 goals, 9 assists right now. That puts him atop the Thunderbirds' goal-scoring leaders as this series progresses on. 6 of his goals have come on the power play. And we talk about depth and how important teams need it at this time of a hockey season, trying to raise a trophy. Alexander True has probably been the best depth player Seattle's had to this point through this 3 games of the series.
So what do you think, Kevin, that Steve Konowalchuk is addressing with his players now as they go into Game 4, because this was a game that could have very well gone either way?
The turnaround's quick, and I think that there's a lot of positives that he can pull out of this game. I mean, he's going to look at guys to me like Scotty Enzer. How about the effort from him tonight on the penalty kill? That was inspirational, to say the least. And I don't think it's going to be as much about what they didn't get done as it is about the things that they did well. They'll build off that. I believe that he's a guy that likes to focus on the positives. They'll look at some adjustments and whatnot, but I think that it's a quick turnaround. It's so easy to have an emotional fall after your first home game in the final. You get the loss, and guys aren't going to need to hear more negative. They're going to have to focus on positive for a quick turnaround and regroup tomorrow night.
And they're probably going to show the video of what they did well tonight, and they did a lot of good things tonight. Scored both of their goals on the power play, created lots of opportunities 5-on-5 to try to find that equalizer. Just beat by a good goaltender tonight, and in a 1-goal game, this was really a coin toss. Either team could have come away with the victory this evening. We're
waiting on the Regina Pats to hear what they thought of their 3-2 victory this evening, and what was again a down-to-the-wire finish this evening. And one of the great saves, Turner Ottenbright had a golden opportunity. Donovan Al started it with the long shot, great drop pass, as you mentioned, from Ethan Bear. But that save just highlighting what was a brilliant performance.
What a key moment of the game, too. And we talk about face-offs, and Regina was overwhelmingly winning most of their face-offs in Games 1 and Game 2. I think it was 67 to 33 percentage-wise, but a huge ozone face-off win and a crafty little drop pass by Ethan Bear. They got the puck to the net, and Brown he comes up with a huge save again. We've seen him do that at the end of Game 1, 5 minutes left, Gropp point blank, huge save. And then we saw Ottenbright in Game 2 and Hyman in the dying minutes of Game 2, and big saves as well. So he was key and made key saves at right times.
Right. Well, and you mentioned it after the Connor Hobbs goal, and we touched on it in the first intermission as well, about laying off the booming slap shot and just getting it on the net, and that was a key for the first goal.
We saw them practice that in practice, and we all talked about that yesterday. And what impressed me about the power play for Regina, and they worked on it, and it feels so good when you as a group, you work on details. And if you look at it again, you can see Mahura driving to the middle of the ice, and when he did that, that drew the defender with him. That bought the time and space up high for Hobbs, and he had space, and when you give him that kind of time and he lets her go, he put it nice and low on the net, and it was a huge goal.
Joey, I'll let you tag that in a little bit, but let's hear from the Regina Pats.
John, another tight game tonight. What did you see out of your team's performance that allowed you guys to come away with the win?
I just thought it was a real gritty playoff game. I think that those kind of games are what the playoffs are all about. You know, 1-goal game, third one in a row. Again, doesn't says that there's not much difference between the teams, and you know, just got to grind it out, and that's what we did.
John, obviously a win at any time in the final is big, but how important was it tonight knowing that you have 3 in this building and to maybe put some pressure on them?
Well, the 2-3-2 is, you know, it can be a tough thing when you lose your first game. So, yeah, it was big. I don't know if put pressure on them is the right word, but, you know, it gets the home ice advantage back to us. Of course, we want to win here, but it doesn't guarantee anything. It just means that, you know, it's going to be a continuous battle like this. But it's very important to get the home ice advantage back, just for in back of everybody's mind, I think.
Can you speak to the performance of your goaltender tonight, throughout the night, and in particular towards the end when you knew they were going to come?
Well, he was outstanding. You know, a lot of times the save off the face-off play, I think on Ottenbright, whoever went back door there, that's, I guess because he has the best view, he was the only one that saw that coming. You know, it was a great play by them, and he obviously had it read and made a great save.
Tyler, what was going through your mind as we get down to the closing minutes? Obviously a very tight game, and you clearly knew that they were going to be putting on some pressure.
Just stand tall, do my best, and battle right to the end so that we could get the win.
How about you, Robbie? How did it feel to score a winning goal in a WHL final?
Yeah, it's something pretty cool, something that you always want to do, and I'm pretty happy about it.
So, John, speaking on your power play,
5 for 14 so far this series. After having some struggles in the previous 2 series, what are you guys doing different, or are you doing anything different at all?
Well, I think you do a little bit different for each team we played. I got 2 goals tonight, and the first one was a great play. Second one was just a wrister, a simple play. And I think that they do a tremendous job on us, killing their really pressuring team. I think at times our power play didn't look very good, or the other times that we didn't score. So we have good players. Dave does a great job with it. They adapt when they can. I think that we got to be better on it the next game tomorrow night, because they did a good job. So, better might not be getting 2 goals, but it might be getting 1 goal to keep time, or it might be just getting some momentum going. Like, we didn't have a lot of shots in the power play, unlike them who had a lot of shots in their power play.
And can you speak to the job that Holmes and his line have been doing this series?
Well, absolutely. We've really needed, I think our depth in some way has been tested for the bottom 6, but it's also really rose to the occasion. We were talking about this afternoon, to think that you'd have Adam Brooks and Jake Lecision out of your lineup, and you just won a game in the finals. Now we won another one. I think that's a testimony to that group. These guys have scored big goals, him and Lochner and Buziak, in different parts in the Swift Current Lethbridge series, and they've really grown as players in the last 6 weeks, and we need them to. You just can't lose the guys we lost up front and not have somebody pick it up. So if they hadn't picked up their game or proved that they could play when we give them the opportunity, we wouldn't be here.
You guys have kept Barzell, Colasar, and Gropp from scoring any goals. Anything special you're doing to kind of keep those guys in containment?
No, I don't think there's anything special. Obviously, we like Sam against him, but you can't get that all the time here. But I think our first 4 defensemen, and Schuler had shifts against them, our defensemen are good players. And they can move the puck, and they can relieve you from some pressure, and they defend well. So we do want Sam against him, but if it's somebody else, we trust our defensemen.
John, what's it say about your team's composure that after the unsuccessful penalty shot attempt that didn't seem like they hung their heads at the bench?
Yeah, I think that's a good sign. I know that the Thunderbirds, for sure I know the Thunderbirds played in the finals last year. They got lots of composure themselves. They got a veteran team. And I think for us last year, the goal was to win, and then we think we should have beat Red Deer, but not play in a 7-game series there. I think the guys coming back learned a lot. The 19-year-old Steele, Lecision, who's not playing, like Brownie, they learned a lot. And, they're falling back on their experience when need be.
Seems like they're calling it fairly tight tonight. Were you pleased with your team's discipline?
Yeah, it's, it gets tested all the time. We've battled that a little bit during the season on minor penalties, but I think that they know how important it is.
Robbie, just to go back to the game-winning goal, how did you see that play develop? What all did you see out there?
I just saw Brian pick up the puck, and I think Slobozhin actually passed it to Lochner there, and Lochner saw me there, and I saw a little bit of room up top, and I just buried it, I guess.
Tyler, you're back on the ice tomorrow. What's the key if you're to come out on top in Game 4?
Got to get our rest and, eat what we need and, just be just as focused and ready to play tomorrow.
Tyler, how'd you feel like you guys handled kind of a hostile environment in there tonight?
We handled it pretty well. We've played pretty good on the road throughout the year, so, it might be a little louder, but it's nothing different.
John, the same question for you. How'd you guys handle that?
Oh, I think we handled it fine, but it's exciting. Like it's a little bit different crowd than our sellouts or Swift or Lethbridge. They're just a little bit sort of livelier and more party or as much party as as the game. So I thought it was an exciting atmosphere. Like it was lots of fun to be involved in it.
Thanks, guys.
So Tyler Brown and Robbie Holmes, who had the game winner in the second period, and head coach, general manager John Paddock as well, power plays, and also Chase Harrison, his first game on the man advantage.
Well, and for Connor Hobbs, and we talked about it prior to the Pats heading into the media room, that they seem to be very aware that they didn't have as much success on the power play by maybe not, for lack of a better phrase, dumbing it down. And it was matter of fact point shots, getting through lanes, getting through traffic, and eventually getting past Stankowski. Hobbs took a little bit of less mustard on his shot than what he had the first couple of games in Regina, and then the eventual 2-1 goal, Chase Harrison, and that's an uplifting goal in a lot of respects. One, it gives you the lead back, plus it's your first goal of these WHL playoffs. So now everybody on the visiting bench is fired up. It's got the building out of it at that particular point, and when you can get goals this deep into a postseason from your blue liners, whether it's 5-on-5 or on the power play, that makes things that much more difficult for your opponents.
And to add to that too, you look at the detail on the power play, the adjustments they made, but they had bodies net front. Normally, one guy will front the puck on the top of the crease and one guy to the side. Nah, they had two guys right in front of the goaltender. All did a great job, lead all in, and the key there is to get the puck to the net, not necessarily looking to score on the initial shot, which they turned out doing twice, but they're looking for the second opportunity, and I thought they executed their specialty teams excellent tonight.
Well, as I mentioned off the top of the show, 6 of the last 7 teams at 1 Game 3 when the series was tied at 1 have gone on to win the championship, and so the Regina Pats after tonight have the upper hand with a 3-2 win here in Kent. They celebrate a 2-1 series lead on Shaw, Access, and this TV.
Levitt Machinery WHL Hockey is live on Shaw. Catch the NHL stars of tomorrow today. The road to WHL Championship glory ends here when the Regina Pats battle the Seattle Thunderbirds for the right to be crowned Edge&Out Cup champions. For complete playoff broadcast information, visit shawtv.ca or whl.ca.
Hi, I'm Don Taylor here at Levitt Machinery, inviting you to watch Levitt Machinery's WHL on Shaw.
Well, back in Kent, Washington for the second consecutive year in round 4, a raucous crowd at the ShoWare Center, and they were ready to go for Game 3 against the Regina Pats. Series tied at 1 after back-to-back overtimes. Regina would strike first. Teams were going back and forth all night, but finally Robbie Holmes' goal in the second period stands up as the winner. Tyler Brown heroic with 36 saves, and Regina a 3-2 win tonight, a 2-1 series lead, and the all-important